Hello and welcome to Valence. Welcome to the penultimate IFSC Lead World Cup for 2013. Situated just 60 miles south of Lyon, sitting on the left side of the River Rhône, Valence is home to 66,000 people and takes its name from the Latin root Valentia, which means strength and capacity. Now that is something our athletes are going to be very, very interested in at this late stage of the game on the IFSC lead year. And that is because strength, it is whether they have enough left at this stage of the season, and also capacity in terms of numbers when it comes to the rankings. The rankings are something these athletes have been fighting all year to try and get together on, and the rankings are what is most important with the last two World Cups still yet to come. So what do we know about those numbers? Well, in the men's, it is currently Sachi Ama in first place with 460 points. He is followed very closely by Jakob Schubert with 388, and also Ramon Julien Poublanc with 358. It is enough if both of those two athletes push over the next two World Cups, and if Sachi has a bit of a nightmare, to see some changes even at this late stage of the game on the podium. In the women's, it is even closer. We have Kim Jae-in with 525 points against Mina Markovic with 515. Now that is just a 10 points difference between our first and second place position athletes, even at this late stage, meaning that whichever one of them bests the other over these next two World Cups, that one will be going home with the overall World Cup ranking gold. In third place, we also have a bit of a battle going on between Momoka Oda against Magdalena Roeg and also Hélène Janicot of France. Any one of those three athletes could be taking third overall. So, with 42 male athletes, with 34 female athletes, we are ready for Valence. Welcome back to the IFSC. Let's take a look at the venue and the start lists. The Chile trainer. And here we are with those start lists. So our first few athletes out then. Nice to see some high-ranking athletes right off the start of the bat here, with Ramon Julien Poublanc in second out. Mario Lechner to kickstart things here. On to Kim Jae-in, Gauthier Super, Christophe Hanke, Ludovic Lefebvre, Ramon Degrand, Sean McCaw and Clément Vernesson as our first 9 male athletes. Or Veschler for Israel. We've seen him quite a few times this year. It's nice to see another nationality starting to compete frequently on the IFSC season. There's Domen Skofric and Manuel Ramon, two big contenders here for a place in the finals. Thomas Tauporn, our boulderer, is here for a lead competition as well. Loic Timmermans for Belgium, and Emmanuel Lopez, another French athlete, also with Charlie Blaine. Franz Krakenberger in there as well, one of our young youth athletes. Another Israeli athlete here, Yiftash Kushnir, on this page. And there's Sachi Ama, our world ranked number 1 at present. Min Hyun Bin, who missed out on our last lead World Cup after doing very well in Mokpo on home turf, took the silver place position there, but missed out in Wuyang. He's back again here. Good to see him back and competing for his position on the overall rankings. Ilan Jonas McRae for Canada as well, another Canadian athlete over here, one of the younger Canadian athletes that we saw at the World Youth Championships earlier this year. And there is a name that no doubt is making quite a few of you very excited, someone we have not seen for a very long time. I'm thinking Bercy last year, Adam Ondra of the Czech Republic here, getting ready to compete. We cannot wait to see what he's going to do here in Valence. And here's our last page then. Urban Primozic, Francesco Vetterata, Martin Klemser, Sebastian Helenki here, Naoto Hakamada and Benoit Heinz to finish us off with the men's. In a few seconds we'll have a look at the women's, and we are about to get things started with our first two athletes. First 4 in fact, but we are going to be covering 2 routes here for you today. Here are the women's then, the start order for Group 1 here. Salome Ramon starting us off, Kim Jae-in there, again like with our men's, a nice high-ranking athlete straight out off the bat. Teresa Svoboda, Mathilde Romain, Claudia Gazolfi, Federica Mengola, Magdalena Roeg in that battle for third place, Andrea Kumin and Tina Johnson-Hafsas on our first 9. Yevgenia Kazbekova, Aya Onoe, we've been seeing more and more frequently starting to challenge a place in the finals, also in the bouldering. Mina Markovic, our current second place position athlete, in that close fight for the gold medal position overall. Katarina Sauerwein, Maya Vidmar here again, which is great to see her back. Momoka Oda, Anak Verhoeven, who has been making finals at the moment, and Yuka Kobayashi there at the bottom as well. Katarina Posch, Jessica Pils, Kia Noguchi, Christina Stutz, Barbara Backer down here as well, Manon Healy, Dinara Fakutinova, our European champion. You're seeing some big names here, guys. It's great to see these big names still fighting, still pushing, with just 2 World Cups left to go. We're about to get things started with our penultimate World Cup 2013. Just crowned to come after this one. Every point, every hold, every fight here is going to matter and make a difference on the World Cup rankings for the overall. And here is our last page, another one of those athletes battling it out for the 3rd place position. Ellen Janiko here as well, Nikki van Bergen also. And for now, already we take you over to Mario Lechner on the men's 1st starting position, and also Salome Roman. In a little while I will be talking to our chief route setters, as per usual. It'll be Jan Zbranek. He's got Matthew on his team as well, who was setting for us very recently over in Russia, in Perm. And they've set these our qualifier routes. So we're looking to be going on from 11 o'clock this morning over the next 3 to 4 hours to get things started on these qualifications. Welcome back to the IFSC. We have the Twitter feed going here. We have the YouTube going. If you want to get in touch with us, you know where to go. It's in the bottom right-hand corner at the moment. How's everybody doing? Are we excited? We get started with Salome Roman and Mario Lechner.
Alors la grosse chance de cette Coupe du Monde, c'est qu'on aura la présence d'Adam Andra. Ça fait quand même 2 ans qu'on l'a pas vu sur une compétition. Comme vous avez pu le lire sur les articles sur internet, il a sorti 3-9 fois dans une journée. Évidemment, on a aussi Jakob Schubert, 2e mondial qui est présent, Sashi Ama, le japonais numéro 1 mondial, et là aussi Ramon Roulian Budblom qui est dans la place. Et il connaît très bien Valence, il adore cette date. Donc on peut s'assurer déjà un gros spectacle et une très grosse Coupe du Monde.
So Salome already with a quick start here, as is Mario Lechner, both of them now approaching the roof. On this, our 13.5 meter high wall, majority of this wall, I'm talking 90% of this wall, is on an incline that constantly increases as they push towards the top. It is going to be a battle on the shoulders as they start fighting for those places in the semi-finals tomorrow. 26 men, 26 women going through into the semi-finals, and then 8 and 8 in the finals tomorrow as well. We hope you can join us for all of that one. And as I mentioned, in a few moments' time, I'll be chatting to Jan about the routes that he has set here.
Alors elle aussi, elle est rassurée parce que la morphologie des meilleures grimpeuses de la planète actuellement, petit gabarit, Kim Jae-in. Allez, pour l'instant, c'est Mario Lechner qui négocie le mieux sa voie. Come on, Mario, come on. Et là, la voie 2 chez les hommes, franchement, c'est pas les vacances. Allez, Stéphane Odaï. Alors on va y aller cool aujourd'hui pendant les qualifications. Regardez bien parce qu'il y en a malheureusement qu'on perdra, c'est évident. Et on commencera avec beaucoup plus pointus sur les palmarès pour les phases de demi et les phases de finale. Allez, Salomé, allez, les Français là derrière cocotte. Ça se passe bien pour le moment pour Salomé, pas non plus trop de pression, pas de gros symptômes de fatigue. Maintenant elle s'entraîne et elle habite à Voiron. S'entraîne avec Corentin tout au long de l'année.
Salome been making waves on the youth circuit for quite a few years.
Mario Lechner, je vois pas ce qu'il peut l'arrêter. L'Autrichien, franchement, sur le move de sortir sa voie. Big applause for Mario Lechner.
Also on the senior circuit as well, as we see Mario Lechner with our first stop of the day already, right off the bat. And Salome here looking good, taking a moment to have a bit of a rest.
Allez, Salomé. Allez, tout en puissance, la Salomé. Stefano Nisolfi, c'est pareil, Stefano, il va y aller. Allez, dernier mot pour l'Italien.
Really having to squeeze here up onto these slopers, a little bit risky. Coming back down to try and reposition here. Awkward position for her, going up for that next one. That blue sloper just ahead of her. You can see the expression on her face here, fighting to hold on. Managing to get the right hand on, up now with the left, out again, try and find a better position of purchase here. And a top there for Salome as well. So, two athletes already from the start showing us top and showing us that this route can be done. And we move on to some of our masters now with Ramon Julien Blanc, currently third place on the World Cup rankings. And we will very shortly be joined by Kim Jae-in on the women's, our first place position athletes so far.
Celle qui nous a remporté avec succès la Coupe du Monde de Briançon. Et puis de l'autre côté de la voie 2, on va retrouver mademoiselle Katarina Ross.
Ramone then starting off here, currently in third place on the overall World Cup rankings. We saw the battle earlier on in the year between Sachi Ama and himself for that first place position. It was something that Sachi was enjoying at the start of the year. Since then, we have seen Ramone falling down a little bit here and Sachi just excelling throughout the rest of the season to be in a fairly secure position with 2 World Cups left to go on the World Cup rankings. Ramone had a couple of tricky competitions recently, failing to make any real progress in the competition, ending up 17th at one point and 10th at another over the last 2 or 3 World Cups. Incredible, considering that Ramone is generally considered one of the best male climbers in the world, frequently in the top rankings for the IFSC, 2 times world and 2 times European champion. He's also won the World Games at Cali. Incredible amount of endurance, which won't necessarily be all important here as the wall is relatively short, only 13.5 meters. See this nice little power section there as it's moving around from the arête across the roof and then into another increased incline here. Here from this side angle as well, you can see how steep that incline is and how much sustained energy these guys are having to use at this early stage of the competition. A very good morning to Chemosh, who's joining us, and to anyone else that might be getting in touch with us on the feeds. Nice to have you with us. Time here currently at present is just 10 past 11. We are live with you for the next few hours here for our lead qualifications. Kim Jae-in now on the left hand side here after a top from Salome Ramon. Big compression here from Ramone, but no real problem. Feet off the wall even at this height. With the left. Got a foothold there, potential to use. Yep, there it is. Left foot coming on there. Bit of a heel hook on that tiny array he's got going on there. I'll start pushing up into the last 3 or 4 moves here now. Another big pinch ahead of him. It seems like on this this qualification route we're looking at here, the route setters have put in a nice little rest at the top of this lip. On both the men's and the women's, there's a moment here. We saw Salome doing it a few moments ago, and now we're seeing Ramone take advantage of it as well. And there is a top for Ramone. Kim Jae-in with a toe hook here with the left. Finding an earlier position here to grab a bit more chalk and have a bit of a rest as well.
Malheureusement, ça ne passera pas pour Katharina Bosch sur cette voie.
We've got some higher angles here for you as well at the venue, which is nice to see, so we can see the fingers reaching the top of these holds. Even when they're at the top of the wall, we're not looking up all the time. Like this angle, we've got that other alternate angle for you as well on the camera, so we can see a little bit closer, take you a little bit closer at the top of the wall. Piotr saying, was Adam Ondra already on the wall? Well, we are in two different groups here, but no, Adam Ondra has not been out yet. He's 10th out in Group 2, and in Group 1, the group that we're following here, we've got quite a while to wait until Ondra comes out. He's 31st out in this group, so we'll be seeing him a little bit later on. Well, joining me now as we are getting ready and into the swing of things here today, I have our chief route setter here, Jan Zabranik. Jan, it's been a while. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Very well. So, we're looking at the qualifications here. We've seen some early tops. Are you worried, or are you thinking it's going to work out?
Look, we had some very strong climbers climbing in the beginning. The routes seem not to be too easy for them, but they are still very powerful, and the wall is very steep. We may have seen more tops in the qualifications than we had, for example, at IMST, but I don't think it's a problem.
So talk us through these routes then. We'll start doing our normal chat through of everything. Let's start with the men's at the moment, because we have our next athlete, Kim Jabi, out, and we'll go over to the women's once we bring out our next athlete. So for the men's, what kind of a route are we looking at here?
Well, there are two different styles of routes. The grades are pretty much the same. It's around 8B or a little bit less than 8B. But the route on the right is the kind of old school style that you get really pumped in the first half of the climb, and then you just keep going till you fall off or you finish the climb. The climb in the middle, the second route for the men, is a little bit more funky, a little bit more tricky. The face on the bottom is on little crimps. It's very technical, so if you are nervous, you can make a mistake, but it's actually not too hard. And then you can see the big holes in the roof and a lot of turns and spins, which is just for fun for the strong climbers, but the not the best ones will get a little bit bumped there. And then the blue holes on the face, they are positive, but they are all sloping edges. So if you got pumped in the beginning of the climb, you don't have big chances to finish it.
So the blue holes, you're on about this one. We've got Kim Jabi here on that bigger section. You're saying this second roof he's now approaching is the really tough section here. He's going to use a lot of power onto it, and then these blue holes are the ones on the top face of the wall, just after the final lip. Yeah. And that's a moment where these athletes are going to have to slow down a little bit, be careful on the last few moves, because they'll have got pumped from the beginning with the crimps. They've then gone into a power section. If they've got the sustained ability here at this stage, they're going to have to just take it easy on the last few.
Yeah, well, the problem is here, it's very technical, and it seems that there is a lot of heel hooks and a lot of resting positions, but you are watching the best climbers on the world. If you try to imagine to put the heel hook on such a small screw on the edge, and you are a little bit pumped, that it's really difficult, and it's really hard for the body tension, and you can make a mistake. So of course, if we were watching Ramon before, that the holes are really big for him, but for most of the guys in the field, they have to be very, very careful of what they are doing on the top of the climb, because it's very easy to slip or make a mistake, and you cannot save it. You basically just fall off.
We can see Kim Jabi having to do that now, be a little bit careful, but managing to pop up on the right-hand side of your screen for a top here, Kim Jabi. Let's jump over then. We've got Teresa Svobodova now on the women's route here. Are we looking at a similar sort of, you said the grading's about the same. We're looking at an 8B and an 8B either end, yeah?
Well, the 8B is for the male climbs, so both of the male climbs are around 8B and both of the female climbs are around 8A.
Okay, so we're looking at an 8A here. We're going to be covering for you guys, just to keep you updated for anyone watching at the moment. We're going to be covering the far left-hand side of the wall, the far right-hand side of the wall at the moment. We're not covering the middle two routes, we're just covering group 1 on both. So you will get to see everybody climb here once today. And as we move into the semis, we'll start to use this midsection a little bit more. I'm excited about what you've got in store for us with the semis and the finals. I know we've talked about where the final route's going to be moving around, and I hope you guys can join us tomorrow for that. It's going to look like a very exciting comp all round here with Jan at the head of the helm. Going over then to Teresa then at the moment, what are we looking at? It's an 8A, similar sort of style, or we're looking at a different style to the men's here?
It's a different style than to men. It's a typical female 8A style. So for the female, it may not seem as difficult as for the male climbers. The holds are very positive. They are all very in-cut. They are not very big, but the moves are short, and you basically get pumped, and it depends if you can hold on or not. And you again see few slopers just near the top of the wall, which is very physical for the girls, and this is the men style climbing of the wall. So if they get tired and pumped on the crimps, they don't have much chances to hold on these slopers and stick it and push through all the way to the top of the wall.
So you've sort of combined the male and female style here. You're throwing in that technical sort of crimp-based moves every now and then. You've got a bit of a power section around the roofs, and then particularly on the final lip there with those slopes. I mean, we saw Salome struggling to really push up. As you can see, that's Teresa coming down. But we saw Salome struggling. The final two blue on the left-hand side there, that's a really big reach up to the next move. You put in a lot of pressure on the power that they're going to have held back even at that last stage of the route.
Yeah, there is always problem with female climbers. Once they have to push over the lip, they for some reason, I don't know, they always struggle compared to the men. But we chose to do this at the end of the climb just to test them for the semifinals, and also because near the top of this gym is getting really warm. So we put the slopers there just to know for tomorrow what changes do we have to do in the semifinals and finals, how the holds are changing the conditions with the spectators in the gym, because I feel it could be a big problem for the final when we have 1,000 or few thousand people watching, that it will be really warm near the top of the gym. So maybe we will have to change the climbs and put a little bit smaller and more in-cut holds just to save the conditions and keep it the same for all the competitors.
So you're using the qualifications as essentially a trial run for the type of holds you're using at the top of the wall?
Yeah, definitely.
It's a really interesting tactic. It's nice. Talk to me about the wall itself, because we're looking at a 13.5 meter high wall. It's a lot smaller than some of the walls that you're obviously used to setting on, say for example Imps we saw earlier in the year. Huge wall. And Briançon as well was around 15, so you had an extra couple of meters on the top where you were chief there as well. This is a 13.5 meter. Was it hard to set on such a smaller, lower level wall, or have you found it quite a nice, interesting challenge?
No, look, I do like the wall. It's not as tall as you said, but it's very steep. So the problem for me was that we set the first climbs and we thought it will be alright. I set the female final climb, and instead of a nice 8B plus, it was around 9A level, because we didn't realize how steep the wall is. So the profiles are quite great for the competition. Yes, it's not too steep, but I think it's nice change for the climbers as well. So they have to fight straight from the beginning, and they don't get as pumped, but the whole body has to work. So we basically set little boulder problems and try to link them together instead of getting them up on the wall and just get them pumped and get them fall off. They have to think and focus on each of the moves, and it was a nice challenge for us. It was also hard because it's hard to test those climbs because they are very physical, and the moves are very hard compared to, let's say, Imps or Pours, because over there we can rest on the quick draw, and the climbing is it's always 8B for us. So for the route edges it's not such a big problem. But over here, if you are testing the men's final, which doesn't have many moves, it's a boulder problem after boulder problem, and you get very tired. So maybe that's the reason why the qualifications are a little bit easier, because we were just trashed after the semifinals and finals, and we were finding these climbs really difficult. And now when I'm watching the climbers running them up, especially the men on the right, then I'm thinking about the semifinal. We will have to consider making it a little bit harder.
Talk to me a little bit about the year that you've had so far. You had Briançon, you achieved there earlier in the year. You were at Imst as well, setting with Christophe, with Paul as well. And now you've had this one as well. Which has been your favourite wall to work on so far this year?
I think I was very lucky this year for all the walls I had a chance to work on. All the walls were very special. Briançon wasn't very high, it was 14 or 14.5 or something like that, and it wasn't as steep as this wall. So it was again bouldering, and it wasn't as large as here, so we had to keep the straight line and go up, and it was very nice. I was working with Adam Pustelnik over there, and I really like to work with him. He's a great guy, he has really strong fingers, we always laugh about that. So yeah, Briançon was one of the best events definitely I've had. Then straight after Briançon we drove overnight to Imst for the European Youth Championships. So it finished on Saturday at Briançon, then we drove quickly, and on Sunday I was sitting at Imst. It was very strange difference on the wall. The wall at Imst is definitely the double of the size of the wall at Briançon, and just the style of the climbs were completely different. So it was interesting to change so quickly in between the walls. And then straight after I was setting for the Imst World Cup with Paul. So by the time we got used to the wall at Imst, and it was quite pleasant. I always like to come to Imst because it feels like home there. You know, like I've been there a few times, and when I was a kid I used to compete there a lot. So yeah, I love the place there. You're just in the middle of the mountains, and the city is great. And back here in Valence, it was nice to come back in France, and it's nice to set in the gym because I was setting always outside, so you were always stressed about the weather, about the sun, about the temperature, about wind. Oh, they are calling me, I guess. I have to go, sorry. See you soon.
Thank you, Jan. I'm going to let you go. I think there might be a technical issue or something. You're going to have to hold it there on that one. Jan Zbrunek being called down to the wall. But anyway, it was nice to have a very an in-depth, I would say, chat with Jan about his year so far. Seems they might have an issue at the bottom of the wall. Jan's got to go and save the day. So, we have at least now some idea of what we're looking at here for our two routes. We're looking at an 8A for the women's, we're looking at an 8B for the men's. And some interesting climbs here as well. The women's side on the left now with Claudia Gazolfi, as you can see. Some smaller holds here at the start, some crimps, moving into a bit of a technical procedure around the first roof, starting to go into a couple of slopers, then back into some crimps as she goes up into the second roof here, and then slopers at the very top, with quite a difficult power section pushing up to the final few moves. Over on the men's then, again we have that very early pump section here on this one. Quite a powerful roof as they're moving around the arete, roughly where Christophe is now. Into a lot larger holds, and then it's all about sustainability as they hit the top section here into another few slopers as well. Are they going to be able to keep their energy in the last 3 or 4 moves?
C'est celui qu'on veut voir absolument en finale demain soir. Good job, Sachi. Too easy for you.
As you can see there, Christophe getting a little bit pumped as he moves into that power section there. Shout out to Sheila saying hello to everybody. And looking forward to seeing you tomorrow when you come down. Paul Kaufman saying can't wait for next year's season. I'm loving the enthusiasm there. We've still got 2 more for you to go though. It's going to get intense as we go through Valence and Cran. But do let us know where you're joining us from and how everyone's doing here today. Piotr saying thanks for the answer from earlier. Cheers from Poland. More than welcome. Claudia still fighting here then. can see this is the first roof section on the women's here, women's route 1, and there's a second roof section above this, but also you can see that blue cutout there just on the left-hand side of her. That's showing you the incline even on that section as well. It really is, the entire wall here is on a steadily increasing incline. Roughly 90% of the wall, I would say. The first starting holds are on a bit of a vertical, but after that it just keeps increasing all the way up, and they've got 2 roof sections to fight through there as well. Clément saying allez les France.
Très présent sur toutes les compétitions. Et le jour où ça va passer, ça va faire très très mal, hein, parce qu'il a le potentiel de faire de très belles choses. Ça va, vous avez l'air d'être heureux là, je vois que tout le monde est tendu, bien installé, vous voulez un café, vous levez la main, on vient vous servir. J'espère que vous avez bien fêté Halloween. Tout le monde s'est bien démaquillé, ça fait plaisir. Il y en a qui commencent à s'endormir, c'est bon signe.
Ludovic Lefebvre then out for France now. Claudia Gazolfi still fighting as she starts to approach the second roof here. Lefebvre just about to start moving into the first roof. 26 years old, world ranked 81st, World Cup ranked 66th, and unfortunately we lose Claudia Gazolfi there. So now we are starting to see that these routes are relatively challenging. An 8-8 for the women's, an 8B for the men's, and we have never been let down so far by Jan Zabranik. I'm very much looking forward to the semis and the finals tomorrow as well, here on this wall.
La fille de Natalia Perlova et de Cédric Kasmekov grimpera, elle est très jeune, elle a un talent fou en bloc et en vif, on la découvrira tout à l'heure.
Ludovic, best results so far, 27th place at Imst this year, which is where Jan was a member of the team with Paul, who was our chief route setter there. Jan was on the team. Just talking to Jan about his experience at Imst and Briançon, where he was chief at Briançon this year. If you remember that final with the massive rhino horn out at the top of the men's route, Jan gave us a pretty exciting one there. Ramone did very well. It was a really interesting final move on the final route there. So Ludovic, 27th at Imst.
C'est parti pour la deuxième italienne sur le côté, Federica Mingola. On va voir un petit peu la prestation d'Olena Chourumor, l'Ukrainienne. On n'a pas trop d'informations sur elle.
Federica Mingola now on the left-hand side here for Italy. Ludovic still fighting here up into the second roof now, and I can tell you where about he is at present. He's currently got a hand on the 33rd hold here. He's going to be moving up towards the 30th. That's the 34th he's got here. The 35th next up again with the left. He's just going for it now, trying to get on there. You can see the compression and how hard he's having to fight here in the second roof. And then after this, it's just a definite moment where these guys are going to start to get pumped, if they're not already. There you can see really having to fight for that one. That was a hand up onto the 37th actually, which gives him a 36 plus, Ludovic Lefebvre. This stage here. You can see how hard they're having to fight with the compression there, and then getting up onto the top section. They're going to have to really limit themselves, really slow down, not rush through the final few moves as they move into those dark blue black holds. A couple of slopers at the top there as well in the final 4 or 5. A total of 42 holds all in all on the men's, and a total of 50 on the women's. We're currently seeing Federica Mingola on the women's. Now moving out to the 20th hold of 50. So she's two-fifths of the way through this wall. But currently at the moment still on the easier section. She hasn't hit the first roof yet. She's roughly 4 moves away from that first roof. It's going to be interesting to see how she gets on with that one. We will wait and see. How's everybody doing? We are comfortable, chilled this morning? Frederic Nyberg saying, is Claudia related to Stefano? Yes, she is. Little sister. Stefano's little sister.
Donc lui, il est 4e mondial. Celui qui arrive aussi au pied de sa voie, c'est celui qui se retrouve 5e du classement mondial, juste derrière Romain, c'est Young Min. Alors lui, attention aussi à ce jeune homme, tout en puissance. Il est un sacré grimpeur, Young Min.
People asking about whether Sean will take first here. What do you think? Well, he's been working his way up, hasn't he? Moving up from 4th to 3rd and getting some medals in.
Au niveau de l'ancienneté, après le départ d'Angela Ecker. Angela qui avait de nombreuses fois remporté la Coupe du Monde de Valence.
Shout out to Shemosh as well, saying regards from Stuttgart in Germany. Sheila saying, Jan was just saying that maybe it's very warm at the top of the routes tomorrow, but in previous experience, from when you've been here before, the hall is a total fridge. What temperature on the ground? Well, we were in here yesterday and all the doors were open as everyone was getting in, setting up these walls, getting everything ready for today. And even with all the doors open, it was warm in here. Not hot, but warm. They've definitely done something to the heating system. I'm not sure what it is, but we were very cozy here yesterday. Now with roughly 1,000 people down on the ground, on the seats here, watching, it's already starting to heat up a little bit more. And the total capacity here is around 2,000, 2,500 seats. And that's just seats, that's not even with the standing room as well. I can understand why Jan might be a little bit nervous about tomorrow, the semis, the finals, and why he's testing these slopes at the top of the routes today, with more people coming in as to whether it will get hot. But it's quite a comfortable temperature in here at the moment. Not too bad for the athletes, the conditions are good at the moment. But with 40 of them going through, I can imagine that towards the end of the day, those slopers are going to start to be a little bit greasy. And that's probably why he's testing it today. And as we all know, heat rises. So we've been told. I think it's fantastic that we're seeing the route setters take that into consideration as well. They are actually trialling whilst these guys are climbing so that they can adapt it if they need to for tomorrow, which is great as well to see. Magdalena Roach then, a definite contender for the 3rd place overall on the World Cup rankings this year. Is she going to be able to challenge Momoka Oda, who currently holds that 3rd place on the overall World Cup rankings? Magdalena Roach is in 4th at the moment with 323 points. She is just 15 points behind Momoka Oda, who is holding 3rd with 338. At top there for Ramon de Grange, who's had a haircut. A lot of people getting behind the whole style from Sean that we've seen recently, this fast, powerful climbing style that we've seen him start to sort of adapt further. I mean, a lot of people were talking about him doing the same sort of fast style. He's always been a fast climber, but we're definitely seeing him just blitz through every climb. The last, say, 4 or 5 World Cup events that we've seen him at, it's very impressive to see this different style coming into play more and more often. I think a lot of you are liking that one as well. It makes for an exciting event. It's exciting to watch him climb. Chemosh with an interesting point here as well. 13-meter wall is more highball. Maybe a boulderer will win here. We're definitely seeing these hybrid climbers coming out. Schubert, Paul as well. Actually, Sachi's done some bouldering this year as well. And as you might have had a little bit of a hint earlier on from Jan about our finals, he's combining this boulder style. It's like he's doing the entire wall with boulder problem after boulder problem after boulder problem, vertically as opposed to horizontally like we're used to seeing on the bouldering. It's going to be really interesting to see that in the finals as well. So you've had a little bit of a cheek cheeky sneak hint as to what we're going to be looking at with our finals as well from Jan earlier on today. Well, as we were talking about him a few moments ago, it is time now to take you over to the men's wall with Magdalena still climbing here up into the first roof. We get ready as Sean McCall is now out and on the wall. Let's see if he's going to keep pushing with this fast climbing style. What do we think from this then, guys? Let's watch this climb.
C'est la réunionnaise Manon Elie. Manon, elle nous fait des saisons énormissimes.
Sean not moving too fast at this stage. He's looking to be taking a little bit of time here, which is nice to see, but that is probably due to the route that we're looking at here. As Jan suggested, it's that sort of almost crimpy start at the very bottom of the wall. He's hoping to get these guys pumped from the off. With that tough beginning as they then move into this powerful route, which is a bit more bouldery. Sean's now starting to move towards that section. So maybe Sean from the ground has taken a look at that one, thought, okay, I'm going to need to slow the pace down a little bit here. I don't want to be too pumped as I hit that roof section. Now he's starting to really go for it. Kicking up onto that first stage of the roof here. Kyle Flood saying, nice to watch some live climbing with breakfast. Nice to have you with us. Magdalena then, this is the second roof. This is where we saw Salome taking a little bit of time on our first climb here today. Magdalena's going to strike out with the left in a moment over onto that blue. Then she's going to get herself in a position to almost mantle it in a way. Side mantle. Anyway, with the foot up now, she's just getting up here. And she's going to have to push over the top onto this next one. There you are, managing it first time. You can see the caliber of the climber we're looking at here from both sides, Sean and Magdalena. Shout out to Simon Paddin, who's joining us as well. And down comes Magdalena. Here's Sean then on the second roof section now. Currently on the 35th hold now. 36 is on the arete here, just next to where he is. There you are, he's taking that one now. And 37th onto this black hold at the top. This is where he is going to have to take a little bit of time, be a little bit cautious through the last 4 moves or so. 42 moves all in all on the men's. Sean now on the 42nd hold. There you are, there's the top. Bit of a more static approach to the top there for Sean. We've seen some of our earlier athletes do a little bit of a pop up for that top. And we're about to get ready with our next female athlete down on the ground here. What do you think of the wall then, guys? What are you thinking of the route so far? 8A for the women's, 8B for the men's, 50 holds for the women's, 42 for the men's, 13.5 meter wall with a very intense incline and 2 roofs on both of these routes that we're covering for you today. Chief route setter Jan Zabranik. Andrea Cumin for Switzerland, now out. We're about to get ready with our next male athlete as well over for France on the men's wall. We'll be taking you over to that in a few moments' time. Andrea's only 16 years old from Winkel. Looking at previous results on the female Youth A category lead, she came 4th at Stavanger at the European Youth Cup in Norway this year. She was over at the World Youth Championships in Central Saanich in Canada, which we covered for you earlier in the year as well. She came 5th there in the female Youth A lead category. And she's also come 6th at Imst for the European Youth Championship. So making it through to finals quite frequently on the youth circuit Her highest result so far to date is that 4th place position at Stavanger. Let's see how she gets on here with the seniors. Heel hook here from Andrea so she can clip in before moving up again. We've got roughly 1,000 people here for the qualifications, which is promising when we think about moving into the semis and the finals tomorrow. They are expecting a full house here, which would be great for the support for these athletes as they are on the wall. Clement Vanesson here then for France, already on the first roof section here on the wall. Fighting here, feet coming off the wall, a little bit of a shake in that left leg now for Vanesson. Fighting still for that compression. Can he hold it here? Up with the left now. Second lip just ahead of him. He's going to have to slow down. He's moving up now, 36th hold there with the right hand. 36 plus. We've seen a couple of them already that move over the final lip onto the last section of the wall. Very difficult for the male athletes. 21-year-old Clement Vanesson back down on the ground now. Get ready to welcome Orveshla, our athlete from Israel, onto the wall. And our Norwegian athlete now coming out over onto the women's route is Tina Johnson Hafsas. Get ready to welcome her for her first climb.
Et puis pasquier pour tout ce qui est les petits brioches, les pitchs qu'on va manger et surmanger tout le week-end, transformer en pitcher. Donc régalez-vous, attention côté garçon à droite, c'est l'Israël qui va s'élancer avec Mr. Orveshla, the climber from Israel. Là on retrouve côté central pour les garçons du Japon,
Tina Johnson Hafsas.
Japan.
Total of 34 female athletes and 42 men to go through today. We're going to be sticking with these two routes showing at the moment, so you get to see everybody at least once.
On l'appelle l'arme de destruction massive russe, c'est Iliara Praktikiniovia, la russe, 252 points au classement général de la Coupe du Monde. Elle est très très forte, elle est très puissante. Encore plus petite que Kim Jain, et vraiment très grande grimpeuse, et c'est la meilleure grimpeuse de l'équipe de Russie. Et de l'autre côté, pour représenter l'équipe norvégienne, c'est Tina Johansen Hafsas.
Hafsas currently on the 19th hold here. The women's moving up to take 20th now with the right. She's going to keep on this sort of diagonal traverse that she's going on here as she starts to move into this roof section. Approaching the jelly bean now, over to her right. There it is, creeping in. That's 22 and 23 there. So that's 22 with one hand. Figuring out what to do with the feet here. 23. And now she starts moving into the roof itself. I'm going to stay with her on this one, have a bit of a closer look at this roof sequence.
Et là, c'est la fille qui arrive sur le circuit mondial, elle est encore très jeune. Elle a fait ses premiers pas à Paris-Bercy en bloc. Elle est capable de remporter des compétitions de bloc et de libre. Elle est encore jeune pour la
And as we saw with our last athlete, Kumin, she is doing the same toe hook here with the left foot. This next move up over the top is where they're going to have to be a little bit careful. Pinch there on the side. Sequence not too technical, not too tricky there. This next push-up from these two blue holes that she's got ahead of her here, when she's got over this lip in a few moments' time, onto the orange sequence of holes. A little bit more technical as she goes towards the top of the roof here. Orvechla, the 21-year-old athlete from Israel, came 23rd at Perm just recently, 35th at Imst, was at Briançon as well, came 31st there.
Avant, on avait un sachet et maintenant il y a tous les autres qui arrivent derrière et franchement, c'est pareil, ça commence à faire très très mal pour l'équipe du Japon. Alors attention parce que lui, je trouve qu'il fait une saison
big move there, couldn't quite hold on to it. Foot came away. She seats back into, so she's got those two slopers, the blue slopers, and it's back into a little bit more crimp work here, a little bit of a tough positioning section as she starts to move up to the second lip. And another set of slopers towards the top. Another fall here for our male athlete around a similar point that we're seeing. It's that move over to the left-hand side, around the 30 to 36th set of holds. That little sequence there is costing the male athlete. So we're seeing some similarities develop here as our athletes start to come out. Get ready for our next two. Manu Roman, next up for France on the men's.
Et là voilà la charmante petite Ukrainienne encore catégorie cadette. C'est mademoiselle
Evgenia Kazbekova for the Ukraine, now starting off on the women's. Welcome to the qualifications here in Valence.
On les a eu pendant de nombreuses années. Ils ont fait les belles années aussi de Valence. Et elle, bon, on va devoir déjà aller prendre sa place en demi, ça sera une belle performance, mais encore trop jeune pour accéder au final, mais ça viendra très très vite. C'est parti aussi pour Manu Romain, s'il vous plaît, applaudissements pour le 6e mondial, le français. Parce que quand même, cette saison, Romain Desgranges, 4e mondial, Manu Romain, 6e, Super Gauthier, 8e.
Still hunting for that gold medal on the IFSC lead World Cups. Did very well at Briançon a few years ago, 2011.
Et mesdames et messieurs, on peut l'applaudir parce que c'est la première demoiselle à sortir la voie. Dilia Rafaki Yoga, first climber of this route to get the top.
Kazbekova taking the 20th hold now with the right hand.
Allez, Thomas Vallet, Emmanuel Romain et deux. Monsieur le Président, un petit mot quand même. Pierre Le Grenelle.
Manu, a discontrolled, very concentrated style here.
Aux assureurs, à tous ceux qui l'ont. Et puis, est-ce qu'on est heureux de l'organiser cette belle Coupe du Monde, l'avant-dernière Coupe du Monde de la saison. Bonjour à tout le monde. 150
Evgenia hitting the first roof. She's moved on past that hold there and taken the 24th underneath before coming back up onto the blue jelly bean. Using a heel instead of a toe here, and that's cost her. Interesting. Okay, so on the left-hand side here, for the women's, we've seen toe hooks being the way forward for the last 2 or 3 athletes. We saw a heel being put on here, and as soon as that heel came on, slipping straight back off again. So a toe is the way forward at that stage of the walk. Well, we're going to have a bit of a chat then while we're watching Mano as he's going up now, but as we are at this latter stage of the year, we're going to do what we did with the bouldering at the end of the year as well. I have Graham Alderson, a member of the IFSC, here with me. We're going to talk through the overall World Cup rankings and what the potential is for these athletes at the end as we move towards the end of the year. Graham, good morning, how are you?
I'm fine, thanks, Dan, and you?
Yes, very well. I've got coffee, I've got my nice view of the wall, I'm all set up, it's all good.
What more could you ask for?
Right.
From my point of view, this is a very easy competition, got lots of time to chat to you. The organisation's excellent, judges are always excellent in France, so plenty of time to chat. So whatever you need, Dan, give me a shout.
Well, this is what I did want. So we were going to have a chat about these in the World Cup rankings. Now, I mentioned them very briefly in the intro earlier this morning for any of you guys that were watching that one, but we're going to have a chat like we did with the bouldering. Let's start off then with the women's you've got here. As we know, this really, really close battle for the first and second place position. Kim Jae-in 5.25, Mina Markovic 5.15. What's the potential for these two as we move through the rest of the year?
Well, as we know, we can drop one score, so Kim Jae-in is on 5.25 and gets to drop her worst score, which is only a third so far in IMS, so she has the potential to drop 65 points, leaves her on 4.60. Mina Markovic is on 5.15, her worst score so far this year is a fourth in perm, so she takes off 55, so that takes her to 4.60, so in one sense it's neck and neck between Mina and Jae-in. So with two competitions left, it's who does the best here and in Kranja. So really open between the pair of them. Moving further down, I mean it's not all over between anybody else for the silver and gold, but realistically Momoka is on 3.38. She can drop 12 points at the moment, takes her down to 3.26. She's looking pretty safe in third place, Momoka. Magdalena is on 3.23. Her worst so far is an 8th, and Briançon, she can drop 40, takes her down to 2.83. And Lane Janiko is on in 5th. She's on 3.03. She had a relatively bad one in Wujiang to drop 34 points, takes her down to 2.69. So, I mean, it is all to play for. Obviously, if Momoka gets 200 points in the next two comps, she could overhaul. But that means Jae-in and Mina both have to have really bad scores in both events. So it's looking pretty much a head-to-head fight between Jae-in and Mina, with Momoka not quite odds-on favourite for third, but definitely with her nose in front.
That was what I was looking at earlier this morning. It was definitely this fight between Jae-in and Mina, and then the third place position. There is still a potential here for Janiko and Roek to challenge Momoka for that third place?
Oh, most definitely. I mean, the points differential, even when you take the worst scores, is 60 points between Hélène and Momoka. So, with 200 up for grabs, all it takes is Hélène to have, get on two podiums and Momoka to not get to one or two finals, and Hélène can overhaul her. So yes, it's still open, but Momoka's definitely got their nose in front.
Okay, let's move over onto the men's then. We were looking at Sachi, obviously, with this 4.60 at the moment, and I'm noticing an interesting thing you've spotted here is that he's missed perm. Now, we saw this. Do you think this is a tactical move for these guys? As we know, they take their worst results and they drop that off their overall score. Now, if you miss an event, can you essentially drop nothing? So that keeps him up there and he's not minusing himself any points.
That's correct, but I honestly don't believe it's tactical, especially not that early on in the season. Perm was fourth event, so I don't think that Sachi would have deliberately missed that. There might have been some other problems, visa problems or something like that. There might have been a good reason for him to miss Perm. So I personally don't think he'd have dropped a score deliberately that early on in the season.
But it is helping him here. Even, it's kind of like a lucky coincidence. If it isn't something he's planned, you think it will help him at this late stage?
Well, no, he could have won Perm, in which case he'd be even further ahead.
Ever the optimist, aren't you, Greg?
Well, Sachi has won 3 out of 5 events that he's entered so far, so he's got a pretty good track record this year. If he'd won it, he'd be even further ahead. So no, I don't think it. But of course, he is now even further ahead than it appears on paper, because Jakob's in second place. Jakob, though, luckily for him, had a bit of a nightmare in Briançon and came 23rd, so he only has 8 points from that. So Jakob's not actually got many points to drop off from that score. So he's only moved out, lost 8 points in effect. So he's still totally in with the shout. You know, again, 200 points takes him up to 580. So that would mean Sachi would have to get at least 1 second and a third. He's got to get a couple of podiums still, Sachi, assuming Jakob wins. Yeah, basically if he matches what Jakob does, he's got the title again. And looking further down, Ramon again has quite a low score to drop. He came 17th in Wujiang, so he only drops back down to 340. So again, Ramon does well in the last two. Sachi and Jakob does bad. Ramon can still jump up there. Yeah, so it's all to play for, but I'd say Sachi's got more than a nose in front.
So at the moment we're looking at Sachi having this lead, but then with the push from Jakob and Ramon at this last stage, with Sachi having a little bit of a nightmare, possibly, we could see a change even now on the podium.
Yeah, that's correct. And looking further down for 4th and 5th, we have the two French guys, the two Romans, Romain Desgrain and Manuel Romain, are in theory tied on 4th equal on 272 points. But when you look at the scores to drop, Romain has the worst score to drop, so to speak, 16th in Briançon, so he goes down to 252, and Manuel has only 9th in IMS, 37 points to drop. So he drops down to 235. So in the race for 4th and 5th place, Romain Desgrain is slightly in the lead. But of course, yeah, with 200 points upwards to play for, that could change. I've got a feeling the top three set. Not necessarily in that order, but I've got a feeling that Sachi, Jakob and Ramon will be on the podium for the overall at the end of the year.
Graham, thank you very much for talking to us. I'm going to let you get back to being a technical delegate and running around like a maniac.
I'm not doing so much running around like a maniac here, as I said. It's quite mellow for me here. So plenty of time for stuff to go wrong, but my previous experience working here as jury president about 6 years ago, I ran the technical meeting, said hello to the guys, and then I signed the results at the end. Had nothing else to do in between. The event ran perfectly. I would like the odd small problem to deal with.
I'll see what I can do, all right? I'll go and have a work.
You weren't here then, Dan, so I'm sure you can create problems for me to solve.
Graham, thank you.
Thanks, Dan.
Well, that was nice to have a little bit of a chat with Graham about the overall rankings, going from that now over onto one of those athletes that's definitely the most exciting part of our rankings as they stand at the moment. Mina Markovic then currently neck and neck with Kim Jae-in for the overall gold medal position for the year in the lead season. What a season she's had so far. Looking to take that first place overall. And teammate Dominik Skofic just topping as well there a few moments ago. Good start for him. We have seen him at plenty of World Cup finals so far this year. I think the only one he's missed so far is Wujiang, where his teammate Aban managed to make it in instead. But until then, Dominik had made every single World Cup final this year. He's here with the top now on this one. As you can see there with Mina, that toe hook here, it's definitely the way to do it. And Franz Krakenberger here for Switzerland on the right-hand side, starting off on the men's. Mina currently at the moment just relaxing a little bit around the 32nd hold, 33rd when she takes it with two hands. So for example now, she's got 50 all in all to get through, 8A route. We hope that Mina doesn't have much of a problem here on this one.
Allez, Niki Van Bergen, elle est là. Elle est en place. Elle aussi, ça a toujours été la référence pour la Hollande. Mina Markovic, numéro 2 mondial, messieurs dames, qui se bat contre Kim Jae-in. Elle est seulement à 10 points sur le classement général de la Coupe du Monde. Mina a 515 points. Kim Jae-in, 525 points.
Mina on the second lip here now then. Got to move over to the left-hand side to these blue slopers that finish off the female route here. We mentioned earlier Jan testing out these slopers being at a high point on the board as to whether he can do that in the semis and the finals based on the conditions at the venue. Talk about a holistic approach to route setting. Incredibly holistic approach. Covering all the corners, making sure everything's above board. He doesn't want to make things too difficult. As he said a little bit earlier as well, he was climbing some of the female routes and thinking that they were actually harder than some of the male routes. So he's changed a few of them as he's gone through the qualifications, the semis and the finals. Very much looking forward to the finals here. France trying to gain a purchase on this large red sloper. Up again to that disc pinch just ahead of him. Foot up. And then these next few moves are where it's going to get tricky for France here now. He's going to have to be very careful as he carries on from this point. He's up now to the 33rd. Top there for Mina, matching Jain yet again here. Again here we can see a bit of a shake in the left hand and the right. Bit pumped there as he's pushing up to the next one. It's a nice, interesting approach from Jan here to set a very, very quick pump, almost like a flash pump start of the route here, and then into a powerful section as well. They're really going to have to be straining, pushing at that point there, and then the controlled finish. It's a really nice approach to a men's qualification route. It's a tough qualification route. We're definitely seeing it doing its job. Some of the higher ranking athletes managing to get there with relative ease, but we could even see a couple of those guys struggling around the section we've just seen France come down from. For the women's as well, a nice mashup between the male and female style, combining the technical and the power side of things. What are we thinking of the routes? They're the kind of things you guys would like to climb. When we're giving you the gradings as well, just a reminder about those gradings. These are the competition style gradings. It might be a little bit different to what you guys are doing in the gym. Competition climbing is kind of its own entity. So these gradings we put out there are meant to be a rough guide for anybody watching back at home, an estimate of what the standards are here.
Allez, de l'autre côté, c'est la petite Suissesse, Yara Spaté. La Suissesse qui vient de s'élancer, elle est très jeune, elle est encore elle est junior. Allez, juste devant nous aussi. Donc Yara Spaté, elle c'est la Suissesse, derrière Mina Markovic en extérieur gauche. Et là c'est Katia Kalic, la Slovène qui s'élance en face de nous. Alors si vous avez faim, il ne faut pas hésiter à la buvette. On a tout ce qu'il faut pour vous restaurer. Et Charlie Blin, vous ne lâchez pas s'il vous plaît, les Français là sur le côté. Dernier Français avant le nettoyage de la voie. Allez Charlie, le Briançonnais, entraîné par Serge. Et c'est parti pour Marcello Bombardier, l'italien.
Yara Spate here onto the first jelly bean. In the first roof, 16 years old from Wolfhausen. Third at the Female Youth A-Lead European Youth Cup in Stavanger this year. 12th at the European Youth Championship in Imst, which interestingly enough was also set by our chief route setter here, Jan Zabranik, working with Paul, who was our chief route setter at Imst earlier this year. Charlie Blaine for the men's here as well, about to hit this tricky point on the wall. He's our 14th athlete out. We have 42 to get through. Plenty more to come for you today, guys. He's 20 years old, Charlie, from Briançon. He's come down here with Manu then today. 10th at Kran on the Male Juniors Lead European Youth Cup in Slovenia 2011. Third place at Imst on the European Youth Cup in 2011 as well, and that is the highest ranking he's pulled so far. Third place position, a bronze medal. You can see them again here, really starting to struggle. Definite pump on that right arm there. You could see it was the tendons bulging out of the forearms. Pacing and control is all important on this male qualification route here. Not allowing yourself to get too pumped on the first section. Making sure that you don't overuse the energy in the power section, and reserving a little bit more left for that second lip at the top of the men's wall is costing some of these male athletes at the moment. Yara Spate back down on the ground. We get ready to welcome our next female athlete out here, which will be Maya Vidmar. So the men's route is currently being cleaned at present. We're taking you over onto obviously my Vidmar here, you can see, for the women's. Tricky point here on the wall now, moving over to the left-hand side onto these slopers after this crimp, difficult section here. You can see how curled the hand is there on the left. She goes up with the right here, drop knee on the left, trying to shake out a little bit, not really in too comfortable a position to allow her to do that. And it only gets more intense here as she starts to go over to the left. Bridging and switching the drop knee onto the right now. Matching on that hold, but couldn't quite push on from there. So that's a 46 for Maya Vidmar. No top there for her. A good effort. Here you can see there's the men's route being cleaned, and there are some of our other athletes. There's Bernhard Rock for Austria. You can see there on the other men's route. Yes, that is Magdalena's younger brother. We saw him over at Central Sandwich for the World Youth Championships earlier this year. Definite future star of sport climbing here. How's everybody doing?
Bernhard Rock, c'est le frère de Magda, jeune talent autrichien, très puissant, très grand. Juste en face de
We are
nous,
getting ready for our next
on a
female
Kelly
athlete, so
extérieur
we'll be cleaning that one
gauche.
just yet. Piotr joining us here, saying, I think Adam is going to win. Although all these people climbing are amazing, an 8B as qualifications, I can't even do a 6B. Started climbing a few months ago and loved it from the first minute. It's nice to see some new faces joining us on the IFSC feeds as well. Guys that are climbing for the first time and just starting to get into it. Watching the world's best as they clash here in Valence. Other bests here now, Katarina Sava, big name on the bouldering, predominantly a boulderer, admits openly bouldering is her favoured discipline. We've seen her quite a few lead comps this year as well for Austria, now starting to use up the consequence of things. Let us know what your predictions are. I always want to know what you guys are thinking. Great to see Adam back here. It's been a long time since we've seen Adam on Reversi. We saw him there, and he wasn't the Rockmaster this year, although I don't think he wasn't in the comps that we covered there. If you've missed any of the action so far for this season, obviously we're talking to Graham Alderson a little bit earlier about the overall rankings. They stand at the moment for the World Cup rankings. If you've missed any of the events, if you want to tune in and watch any of those previous events, you can do that by going onto YouTube, onto the IFSC's page, and everything we show is instantly uploaded on there for you as well, for your own enjoyment when we're not live. Katarina very quick to move on to the first roof here. She makes it through into the semis and the finals. She's going to be having an enjoyable time of things. Considering she does prefer bouldering, we've already had the little wink from Jan Zagranik about our finals, saying that he's combining the bouldering and lead style, making the lead routes. Risky move here. She's moving very quickly over to the right-hand side, looking like she wasn't relying on it too much there. But yes, Jan was talking about these final routes that we have, our semi-final routes, combining the boulder and lead style, making it like a vertical stack of boulder drops.
Lui, il a déjà un énormissime gabarit. C'est un des plus grands de la compétition. On peut l'applaudir parce qu'il est jeune. Il est jeune Bernhard Rock. Il porte son expérience sur cette Coupe du Monde.
More and more we're seeing these hybrid climbers that like to do the entire IFSC lead and bouldering seasons, combining the two, switching their training mid-year from the boulder style to the lead style.
Alors regarde, ça c'est une information aussi importante pour suivre la compétition. Donc vous regardez la couleur des prises, dès que les prises changent de couleur, c'est bon. On change la cotation de la voix.
Well, we'll try and find Adam Ondra at some
Donc là
point
par
as
exemple
well.
dans la voix avec la
See if
success,
I can have a bit of a
ça
chat to
commence
him
dans une
next day or
cotation
so
theta et puis dès que la couleur
about
va
what he's
changer,
been up
on va
to.
passer à un mode supérieur.
No doubt a lot of you
Donc là la
know
sortie du poids, on va commencer à piquer un petit peu plus.
what he's doing out
Pareil chez les
front.
garçons, le début est violet. Ensuite on va passer dans le rouge avec Thomas Topor. Ça aussi c'est bien, ça va être pédagogique, interactif.
Well, so very quick to get up onto
Allez,
the
de
first
l'autre côté,
roof.
c'est la japonaise qui va s'élancer, Momoka Oda.
He's got to take advantage of any rest he
Attention à
can
cette
here. That's exactly
demoiselle.
what he's doing now before he moves into the power section. Ahead of him with these red holds.
Momoka Oda qui est troisième du classement mondial à un peu moins de 200 points derrière Mina Markovic. Elle est en pleine forme. Magdalena Roth, c'est la quatrième mondiale. Allez les Suisses!
Right,
Et c'est
up
terminé
again
malheureusement
now,
pour
moving
Manuela
on to
Sundqvist.
the
Qui va laisser sa
30th,
place à Neta Friedman.
30th
La
and
grande
31st
d'Israël.
now with the right hold. Still fighting here, foot swinging out over onto the 34th hold. You can see that shape starting to develop in his legs now as well. Awkward position for him to be holding there. Unfortunately, Thomas Tauborn falling there. We found the crux then on the men's wall. On the women's, it appears to be the entire top section from the first roof into the second. Let's see whether Momoka Oda can succeed here.
Vincent Cosset, tu es demandé du côté du juge. Vincent, allez, attention, la grimpeuse d'Israël qui s'élance. Mademoiselle Friedman, vas-y, Neta. Come on, Israel, guy, make some noise for Neta.
Lucas Kopp now for Austria as Momoka Oda starts to approach her first roof and the first jelly bean.
C'est parti de l'autre côté avec le grimpeur autrichien Lucas Kopp qui va s'élancer pour sa voie de qualification. On est bientôt sur le point de
22nd hold there, 23rd when she grabs the next one with the left. There it is. Slow and controlled here from our World Cup ranked third place position athlete Momoka Oda. Impressive set of results so far from this year for Momoka Oda on the lead World Cups 2013. 5th place at Wuyang this year, 3rd at Mokpo, 3rd at Perm, 3rd at Purs, 2nd at Imst. She's going for a heel here. Switching to a toe now. Over to another toe here. Still looking good, Momoka Oda on the lip here. Onto the first sloper, matching. See, it looks here from this angle like these are quite good holds, but when you consider the incline that they're on, these slopers suddenly become slides.
When
they're on that incline, not so good. Not a problem for someone like Momoka though at this stage. This next sequence here, as she moves over to the left and then pushes up again to the next set of slopers, the next blue slopers, has cost a few female athletes. Maya Vidmar moving through this one a little bit earlier. Moka just so strong this year.
Elles sont très musclées. Alors ce sera pareil, même format du côté des demi, et après pour les finales c'est encore pire, avec des voies beaucoup plus longues. On vous rappelle qu'on retrouvera la vitesse à partir de 17h avec les qualifications de la Coupe de France. Et ce soir en nocturne,
Cobb still going strong.
Allez Neta, allez. Kadima Neta, Kadima. You can make a big applause for Mr. Friedman, please. Allez, nettoyage de la voie chez les filles. Et terminé pour Lucas Cobb.
Cobb, just like many of our other athletes, hitting that red section, moving up towards the final lip. Having a tough time of things there. Big push here for Momoka. Managing it with relative ease though by the look of things. Over again to the next. Looking good for her. And up again. Final clip here. Momoka Oda with the top, exactly what we would expect from this young athlete. 19 years old from Japan, former world youth champion. There's Anak Verhoeven getting ready to go. Loic Timmermans. It's looking like we're about to have a double Belgium situation on our hands here. Loic Timmermans on the right hand side, Anak Verhoeven about to get started on the women's on the left.
Il va falloir vraiment compter sur elle pour le résultat de cette épreuve. Alors attention parce que celle qui arrive, messieurs dames, elle est jeune, elle a remporté nombre de coupes d'Europe dans sa jeunesse, c'est l'arme fatale belge, c'est mademoiselle qui nous rejoint, Anak Verhoeven, elle est encore très jeune, Anak.
18 years old Loic, 21st on the world rankings, 20th on the World Cup rankings this year, came 4th at the European Youth Championship in Imst. First at the Male Juniors Lead European Youth Cup in Edinburgh this year as well, and second also at the European Youth Championship in bouldering in Grindelwald also this year. Previous gold medals at Kran, Zemozak and Linz in 2012, Male Youth A Lead category European Youth Cups, also another one in Moscow in 2012, the European Youth Cup, and again at Cran in 2011 and Edinburgh 2011 as well. Previous gold medals. These are all on the European youth circuits and seasons. Let's see how he gets on here today on the seniors. And also let's go over and have a little look at Anak Verhoeven, who has definitely been proving that she has what it takes, even at the young age of 17 years old, to challenge these seniors. We saw her come in at 5th place at Mokpo in Korea this year. She also made it through into the finals in Perth on home turf there.
Attention, deuxième mondial, juste derrière Sachiyama, Historia Schubert. Le record de victoire sur une saison en Coupe du Monde, c'est lui, l'Autrichien. Il a eu une petite saison difficile l'année dernière et cette année, il revient quand même très très fort dans le circuit. Et évidemment, il est un petit peu effrayé aujourd'hui parce qu'il doit rivaliser contre Benoît Heinz. Allez, Jacob. Good shot. Allez, Anak. Allez, Loïc. Il s'était rapproché de la finale, hein. Loïc Timmermans à Chamonix, c'est une de ses belles prestations de la saison. Bon, il est encore jeune, hein. Il a le temps de bien mûrir. Allez, Anak de l'autre côté. On est content, les Français, vous les aidez, hein. Ce sont nos cousins, les Belges, on les adore. Ils ont toujours eu des vainqueurs exceptionnels en Belgique, dans toutes les disciplines. Allez, Jacob, allez! Non, il est bien. Oh, le retourné de Jacob.
Loic managing to find a rest spot here, taking that hold with the left hand, switching over to the right. Take a moment to shake out. This next one's a big one for him. Let's see how he gets on, moving on to the black. Can he get over this lip here? Heel hook with the left, up with the left hand, clipping in. Matching on this one here. This is the 37th hold. The 38th is that one you can see just on the arete, just ahead of him. You can take that with the right hand in a few moments with a bit of a pinch. That's 38th, and here you can see he's really slowing down, taking his time back a little bit here after taking that one. There's your 39th. Put up onto the next one. Crowd behind him at the moment. Bit of a shake going on in the left arm at present. Can he hold it on? And unfortunately, not enough to get right to the very top there, but he was around the 40th hold. Definitely took the 39th. He was trying to get up for the 40th. Possibly a 39 plus there for Loic Timmermans. Good enough at the moment to see him going through into the semi-finals. Not many of our athletes have made it up onto that stage of the wall. Good again here from Anak Verhoeven, who was on the 45th and 46th hold, going up for the 47th. That'll give her a 46 plus. Again, that should be good enough to see her going through to the semis. That man there you can see in the red is Jan Zabranik. It's looking like we might be about to have a clean here on the wall. Yep, it's looking like we're having a cleaning session going on the women's. We're going to get ready with our next male athlete, Emmanuel Lopez, in a few seconds. We'll go over to him while we're cleaning the female wall. You get to see that climb on full screen.
Le meilleur grimpeur autrichien actuellement, c'est lui. Et c'était ici qu'il avait arrêté son ascension. L'année de ses 7 victoires. Et quand on voit la couleur du visage, ça n'a pas été facile. Hein. Et juste derrière Jacob, ça sera Urban Primozic, the tiger from Slovenia.
Emmanuel finished up the 2012 World Cup season in 29th place. Came 20th at Briançon last year, 17th at Chamonix. Before that, it is all about the results on the male juniors and male youth A category competitions. Third place, male youth A European Youth Cup in Imst, 2005 that was. Also won at Geneva in 2005. Male youth A category as well, and a fourth place on the male juniors lead European Youth Series in Linz in 2007 as well.
Allez, du côté des filles, hein, c'est parti pour on va retrouver les filles qui ont évolué dans la voie 1, dans la voie 2. Et celle qui reprend sa deuxième voie, je voudrais qu'on l'applaudisse. C'est Salomé Romain, s'il vous plaît, elle a été très forte dans la voie 1. Avec une belle sortie, il faut pas qu'elle se mette la pression. Cocotte qui est en pleine forme en ce moment. Donc c'est parti pour le deuxième enchaînement. Et derrière elle, il y aura mademoiselle Janine, la numéro 1 mondiale. Donc Manu Lopez, le grimpeur des Pyrénées, au long de cette marée Manu, qui est parti un an sur le territoire d'Amérique du Sud, où il a fait beaucoup de falaises. Et il a l'air de reprendre énormément goût à la compète ces derniers temps. Primozic, le Slovène, il va falloir la tenir du coin de l'œil. C'est parti quand même des 14 meilleurs grimpeurs au monde.
Bit of a shake starting in the left arm here for Emmanuel. Trying to control it, shake out the lactic acid a little bit here. We saw a potential rest position here from Loic Timmermans a few moments ago. Moving up again, unfortunately trying to bypass one of the moves to go to the next one. It's going to give him around a 33 plus, although he was trying to go up to the 36th there, bypassing the 34th and 35th. And here's a face. Thomas Binter for the Czech Republic. 21 years old. I saw him at Imst where he came 41st, but that was his first appearance for a while with the IFSC. Back before then, the male juniors lead competitions, 2011 when he was putting in his results. 21st, the male juniors lead European Youth Cup in Cran. 20th at Pau and 31st at Imst during 2011. 12th at Veliko Tarnovo as well. These are all male juniors lead events. 12th being his highest score so far to date. Thomas Binter now starting off on male Group 1, Route 1.
Slovenia, make some noise for your band, please. If you're from Czechia, you have to be with Thomas Binter. Et les Français, on lâche pas Cocotte. Allez, Cocotte après l'appel, voie 1. Pour respirer, c'est peut-être la voie la plus délicate. Allez, Cocotte. Elle a beaucoup de talent, Salomé Romain. Elle est encore jeune aussi. Gros mental. Très bon physique. Allez, allez, Domaine, allez! Dance, Domaine, make some noise, Domaine. Put your hands up, Domaine. Go, Domaine. Allez, Urban, allez. Urban, go, Strasbourg. Good. Big applause for Urban. Primozic, please. And the next rider is from Italy, Mr. Vittorata. Francesco Vettorata. Allez, Cocotte. Allez, on lâche rien, Cocotte. Tu plantes les doigts. Allez. Elle est très bien pour l'instant. Hein. On sent que la voie elle est rigoureuse. Elle ne prend pas de risque.
Big stretch and a bit of a stumble there, unfortunately, for Thomas Binter.
Elle balance.
Early fall here could be seeing him out of the semi-finals. Still has the results from his other climb to combine with this one.
Mesdames et messieurs, se prépare sur la droite l'empereur de minéral spirituel Flavien qui va s'élancer ouvreur des championnats d'Europe de Chamonix.
Another French athlete about to get started here as well. Over on the men's wall, while the women's is just being finished up. Before we welcome our next female athlete out there, we are over now onto Flavien Guillemard. Flavien, 28 years old, 12th at Cran 2011, 18th at Chamonix 2009. Best result so far to date is a second place position on the male juniors lead European Youth Cup in Geneva 2004. On the senior circuit, best result so far to date back in 2008 at Cran, he came 7th.
Allez, Flavien Guillemard, les Valentinois, vous l'adorez, venez chez vous, vous ne lâchez pas. Kim Jain, la numéro 1 mondiale, qui part pour sa voie 2. Francesco Vettorata, très bon grimpeur italien, et c'est parti de l'autre côté pour Yuka Kobayashi qui remet ça. Allez, maintenant, c'est le moment qu'on adore parce qu'on va voir un petit peu.
And we are back with the female athletes. Yuka Kobayashi here for Japan, about to start her climb. th athlete of our 34 here. So hitting the halfway point roughly on both of these walls now. Flavien's 20th out of 42 all in all. Yuka Kobayashi, 25 years old from Ibaraki. World rank 13th, World Cup rank this year so far 12th. 13th place at Uyang, 13th place at Mokpo, 11th at Perm so far this year. Starting to challenge for a place in the finals. She made finals last year on the lead circuits. 7th at Imst 2012, 7th at Briançon as well. Also Haji in China. She came 4th there and 2nd at Zinning in 2010. But it's been a while since we've seen Yuka getting into those finals. Flavien looking pretty good here actually at this point in the wall. Going for the old Sean McCall approach on this one of just trying to power through it as quickly as possible. Crowd offering him some support here, trying to get a heel hook in by the look of things on the right. Up again, now onto the 37th hold here, looking very good. Flavien. Really fighting for this next one as well, up to the 38th now. 39th. You see the fight on his face there, he did not want to let go at all. A great effort, 39 there for Flavien Guillemard. Should be seeing him through to the semi-finals at the moment. Yuka Kobayashi here now on the first roof with a heel hook, which we've seen be a bit risky earlier on today. Yuka just taking it up there as she starts to move to the right-hand side, but managing to use the heel effectively there as she comes over to these two slopers.
Good job, congratulations. Yes, not easy, but you did it. Alléluia, Gamba. J'adore. Alors c'est la plus douce, mais franchement, vous voyez, il y a une puissance exceptionnelle. Elle sèche de plus en plus, elle a un rapport de puissance de plus en plus autonome.
Kobayashi now moving into the tough section on the women's wall as Tatsumi Nitta starts over on the men's for Japan. See how Yuka gets on here as she moves up towards the second set of slopers.
Je voudrais pour une face innovation, s'il vous plaît, c'est une grande dame, plus du gabarit et énormément de talent,
Quick push there, and unfortunately a slip and a fall for Yuka Kobayashi.
Là, les assureurs, franchement, se dire, j'ai assuré que j'allais.
We'll get ready with our next female athletes in a few moments' time. For now, they're over onto Tatsumi Nitta for the men's. Our next female athlete out will be Katarina Posch, who has already climbed once today. This is our halfway point now on the men's, 21 years old, and 21st out, it's Tatsumi Nitta from Kanagawa, 27th at the Bouldering World Championships in Paris at Bercy 2012, 25th at the Bouldering World Cup in Munich 2012 as well. And here is Katarina Posch. Relatively good climb for her first climb earlier on today.
Allez, toute climber from Republic Czech, Teresa Svobodova. On the middle, Mr. Gletsa, Martin, say Heide. A point for the climber from Republic Czech. To the left, Katarina Posch from Austria, second route. And to the right,
Tatsumi Nitta just slipping off on the heel hook there, but managing to hold on. Nice big hold on the left, now switching to a foot hold for him. Confidence here from Tatsumi Nitta.
Good climber from Austria. She's the second best climber from Austria behind Magdalena Roth. She has 2,070 points.
She's found that rest spot we saw a little bit earlier from Loic Timmermans. Getting over onto that hold on the arete here, taking a moment to shake out a little bit before pushing up onto the 35th hold, which he has now. 36, a little bit further up on the arete, you can see there. And in a moment he's going to go up for that next sloper. Trying to find a decent purchase on that before moving up. He's got that nice pinch to the right hand side in a moment, if you can get the hand up onto that one. A little bit more secure there. Not so great when you're going over with the left here. But still moving on. Very impressive here from Satsumi Niita. Bearing in mind the last time we saw him was at the World Championships, where he came 27th in bouldering. The last lead event result that we have for him was 19th place at Changzhou in 2011. Best results so far to date, if we go back all the way to 2009, 8th at the IFSC Climbing World Championships in Qinghai in China, 2009. So made the finals there. We haven't seen him for a while. Very impressive finish there for him. Looked very strong. Caterina still fighting here. We get ready for Stefano to come out for Italy on the men's in a few moments' time. Caterina, here's the final lip then. Let's see how she gets on moving across here. Caterina trying to get a heel up there. Did a bit of a shake setting in. Big move for her now, a lot of power, but she's managing it. No, foot slipping off. That slight adjustment of positioning there on the second sloper is enough to bring her crashing down, unfortunately. A couple of very good efforts there though for Caterina. It should see her safely through to the semi-finals as we get started with Stefano Gazolfi now on the men's route. Shout out to Eva Vink, who's watching the IFSC at school. Oh dear. You either go to the coolest school in the world or you are breaking all the rules. Jessica Pills then. Very, very young female athlete, current European champion. She's been world champion as well. Won in her category against Anak Verhoeven over at Central Saanich earlier this year. They tied in the final, but due to countback, Jessica Pills took the gold medal from Anak. Exceptionally strong. We saw her making it through into the finals in Imst earlier this year. She also took the European Youth Championship in Imst earlier this year. All this at the tender age of 16 years old. This young Austrian athlete is a definite contender on the senior circuit here. More than capable of challenging some of the seniors for that spot in the final. Stefano moving into the tough section on the men's now then. Gazolfi currently 10th on the World Cup rankings for this year with 198 points. Could potentially challenge Domen Skofic, who has 207 points. Domen is up in 9th place at present.
Allez, Jessica, Sébastien, Mathilde. Et de l'autre côté, Stefano Gazolfi. Stefano Gazolfi, pareil. 3 ans qu'il est sorti des catégories jeunes. Il nous avait épaté lors du championnat du monde espoir ici à Valence. Il fait partie maintenant des meilleurs grimpeurs italiens. Là, on a vraiment de la jeunesse à l'état pur. Mathilde Brumain, pareil, elle a la lourde tâche maintenant d'être l'une des plus grosses représentantes de la Belgique dans la discipline. Et Et on pourra compter sur elle sur une grosse saison. Elle reviendra en forme pour être bien. Allez, Sébastien, allez!
Stefano looking very, very good here. Can he hold it for the last few moves? Up with the right, one clip away. Very nice performance here from Stefano Ghisolfi. Breath of relief before coming back down, but doesn't look too bad at all. Clearly in a good condition here. Jessica Pills using a heel at this point. Taking the foot off instead here, switching around again. Back up with the heel. Using some energy here. You can see it's a little bit shaky with the left leg here. She's got to get away from that now. Moving over to the right-hand side. So strong at such a young age, Jessica Pills. Shout out to Christian Czech, who's joining us, saying Breakfast and Lead World Cup. Yiftash Kushnia for Israel. Starting on the men's route now. Jessica has the tricky second traverse coming up ahead of her now. Still fighting here. Jessica not looking too bad, managing to stretch and chalk a little bit here. Bit of an awkward position to be in for a proper rest though. She carries on. Managing to get onto that next one. Starting to look a little bit tired here now. And unfortunately trying to get that second hand on the blue. Elbows out in the air, and unfortunately that's brought her down. Yiftash Kushnia then pushing on with the men's. We get ready to welcome our next female athlete, and that will be Akio Noguchi in a few moments' time. Yiftash Kushnia here for now though. Or unfortunately not, another early fall like we saw from Binta earlier on.
Allez, attention, le japonais devant nous, Naoto Akamada, derrière il y aura Benoît Heinz, le français, et ensuite on passera dans les grimpeurs qu'on retrouvera sur la deuxième voie. Là derrière Kouchmir, d'ailleurs on retrouve celui qui a ouvert le bal tout à l'heure, Thomas Johannes. Non, c'était Stefano Ghisolfi, Thomas Johannes qui a fait son retour. Et de l'autre côté, on accueille la japonaise Akio Noguchi.
There is Sachi waiting in the wings
Akio Noguchi pour le moment.
for his chance to come out and start fighting to secure that overall World Cup ranking of first place. And here is Akio Noguchi next to Thomas Johannes, now of France. And next two athletes out for the qualification stage of Valence here, 2013. Good morning, everyone. Still plenty more to come for you today with these athletes, and then we're back again tomorrow for our semis and our finals day tomorrow. Still around about 1,000 people here at the qualification stage. Really nice to see such a big crowd.
After tonight, the final time for the semi-final, the second round of lead will be tomorrow morning at 12, I think, or 11 for the first start. Allez, Titom. Thomas Johannes qui est reparti. Allez, Italy, please. Allez, for Claudia. Go, die, Claudia, die. Was strong. Allez, Thomas, allez. Allez, derrière Claudia Ghisolfi. La prochaine, ce sera Federica Nicola, Italie. A big applause for Mr. Akawada Naoto. Et là, je voudrais qu'on l'applaudisse très fort, s'il vous plaît. C'est le dernier français de sa voie 1. Il faut l'applaudir, il arrive de Clermont-Ferrand, Monsieur Benoît Heinz, qui va s'élancer. On est vraiment ravis de retrouver sur la coupe du monde.
Both athletes looking relatively comfortable here, managing to find rest spots. Johannes looking good just before he enters this section of red holds ahead of him. Akio, so comfortable there in that switch over onto the right foot, just taking the feet off there. We mentioned her style of athlete earlier on, saying the combination between boulder athletes and lead. Now Akio's had a fantastic season in lead anyway, but she's also an exceptionally strong boulderer, right at the very top of the rankings there. She took second place overall on the World Cup rankings in the boulder discipline this year. And then she went straight on to lead after that one as well. She's here and looking very, very comfortable. It's just the perfect style for her. This is the kind of thing that she's used to climbing. Not necessarily in a lead environment, but this mixture of power and technique is a hats off to the boulder style. Thomas Johannes still fighting here now as he's getting up to the 36th hold. Can he keep pushing up towards the top here? About to start moving past the lip.
So they have to go on the IFSC website. You have to check the live streaming to see the competition. Allez, Tito, allez! Allez, pour Thomas Johannes, s'il vous plaît, les Français, allez!
Big pop here, managing to get to it. Can he hold on? Yes, he can. Got to get that clip in now, and it's his. 18-year-old Thomas Johannes with a top here. A fantastic performance from him. We look forward to seeing him pushing towards the semi-finals tomorrow. Akio Noguchi then about to have this switch over onto the blue slopers here. There's the heel and a toe here. She goes over to match on the blue. And unfortunately, it was that foot there again, just shifting enough to bring her down, unfortunately, and she won't be too happy with that one. Akio, you can see her just at the bottom there looking up to try and see what she could have done instead. Possibly a toe as opposed to a heel, but we've seen a lot of athletes using the heel there and then rolling up over it as they sort of side mantle that blue sloper and go up for the next one. Just an unfortunate slip there for Akio. Getting ready now then with our World Cup ranked #1 at present, Sachi Ama, who is currently sitting pretty on 460 points so far for this year. He's challenged by Jakob Schubert and also challenged by Ramon Julien Poblanc, but at the moment Sachi sitting with a bit of a nose ahead at the moment. Can he hold on to it for these last two World Cups? Is he going to be able to maintain that lead as we move through the final few cups and end the year here? He's had an incredible year so far. He's world ranked first, World Cup ranked first at just 24 years old. Looking at the year he's had so far this year, 2013, first place at Uyang, first place at Mokpo, second at Purs, Then in between that, he went over to the bouldering and came 6th in Munich. Going back further, he was first at Imst, second at Briançon, and that is his lead season so far this year. Sachi Ama, 24 years old, from Tochigi, world ranked and World Cup ranked number 1 for Japan. Next to him, Christina Stutz of Austria. We've seen her a couple of times this year as well.
And if you're from Austria, you have 12 Christina Stutz.
22 years old, from Galnukirchen. Best results are on the female juniors lead European Youth Series through 2010-2009. 3 bronze medals during 2009, 1 at Cran, 1 at Edinburgh, 1 at Munich on the female junior lead IFSC European Youth Series. But we have seen her fighting in the seniors. She'll be no stranger to this standard of route. Let's see how she gets on as she starts her climb here. Sachiyama already up into the first roof.
Allez, on peut l'applaudir. Première voie. Juste derrière l'italienne, on va retrouver l'autrichienne Olena Schulubor. Alors là, pour l'instant, c'est Christina Stutz qui est sur le mur. C'est Magdalena Roth qui va s'élancer. Magdalena Roth, 4e du classement mondial, 323 points, 200 points derrière Kim Jae-in. Magdalena qui est la meilleure grimpeuse autrichienne. She's the best climber from Austria actually in lead. Allez, Sachi! Gamba, Sachi, Gamba! The general walk the parking leader, Sachiyama. Okay, 2 girls from Austria, 1 guy from Austria. Mr. Mario Lechner with the green shirts. Alors là, tu as aussi le delegate de TG, tu peux lui mettre Freddie Mercury, we will rock you. Yeah, big applause, please everybody for Sachiyama. Too easy, qualified for the semi-final, Mr. Sachi. Et juste derrière Sachi, c'est le Hollandais, Elko Schillinger, qui va s'élancer. Oh, les DJ, c'est très fort. Yeah, Magda, it's for you. Go! Allez, Mario. Come on, Mario, come on. And the new girl to the left, she's from Ukraine, Olena Schulubor. We will rock you. Vas-y, go. crochet en plein centre, Mario Lechner et Magda. Lukman sur le côté.
So as we did expect, a top there for Sachi Ama, trying to lock him down and find him at the moment to have an interview with him. So we'll try and bring you that in a few moments' time as we move on to our next two athletes, Elko Shilinga and Olena Shurubor. But at the moment we'll try and find Sachi and have a bit of a chat with him about how he's feeling as we move towards the end of this season.
Alors cet après-midi, à partir de 17h, on reçoit la vitesse. Il faut évidemment enlever les joies, retracer la bonne vitesse. Et puis aujourd'hui, ça sera à la fin d'après-midi et début de soirée consacré à cette discipline. Go Mario! Off gets Mario! Come on Magda! Allez, pour l'instant, Kim Jain et Julia Fratidiniova vont sortir à voir de Magda. Mario Lechner, good job man! Mario Lechner will be in semi-final 2, I think.
Elko taking a bit of a rest here around the roof. Magdalena Roach in the middle routes just a moment ago, missing out on a top by 4 or 5 moves, unfortunately. Still should be enough combined with her first score as well to see her through into the semi-finals.
And it's finished 2 for Shurubor. Olena Shurubor, climber from Ukraine. Next climber behind Olena, she's from Austria, Barbara Brewer. Behind Magdalena Roach, Andrea Kubin, Switzerland.
Shilinga now up onto the 33rd hold here on the men's. And unfortunately just trying to go for that next one, coming down, moving up, trying again, like quite a few of these athletes, to go straight to the 36th and bypassing the 35th and 34th and 35th holds. They do know the procedure, they're aware of it. Get to have a look at how the routes should be climbed by the route setters. Min Hyun-bin next up for Korea now. Second place position at Mokpo this year after taking the gold there last year. Took a break, then we missed out on seeing him over at Wuyang, although he did compete in the master competition in Haiyang in between those two. We didn't see him at the final event, the last Lead World Cup, but he's had a very strong year so far this year. This is Barbara Backer then starting off for Austria on the women's as well now. Well over halfway here now, trying to lock down some interviews.
Voilà, tous ces partenaires nous attendent, il faut absolument aller les voir parce que sans eux, on n'aurait jamais pu organiser une Coupe du Monde encore une fois aussi belle qui sera définitivement la dernière de Mineral Spirit. Très difficile d'aller les voir parce que...
So Min Hyun-bin starts here, Barbara Backer as well on the women's wall. Take you over to Min now as he's about to get started.
Il y a toujours une petite loterie ou un petit... c'est ça. If you want to win some present, go to see the credit trail, please area. They have a get to propose you. So don't forget it before to leave on the convention area. And for all the different stands, the same Bravissime, Andrea Boldini, Planet World Boards, Light Spirit, Kiwi Sport. Don't forget it, without this partner, it's not possible to organize some World Cup near to France.
Both Barbara Backer and her sister Sabine, well-known sports climbers. Barbara here on the first roof on the women's wall, switching from originally a toe hook now onto a heel hook.
Tiens, on va faire sérieusement un tour de tous les partenaires aussi parce que c'est important.
Min Hyun-bin then here, up to the disc for the pinch on the right-hand side. That round of applause you might be hearing now is Ramonet with his second top of the day after finishing his second climb. Min looking relatively comfortable even at this late stage here now.
Gros partenaire sur cette Coupe du Monde et aussi accès à juste pour les nacelles qui permettent aux ouvreurs d'accéder tout en haut de ce magnifique mur de cet alcool polygone à Valence. Des alcools cordes évidemment, Veolia, vous connaissez tous filière de traitement de l'eau, on va bien sûr pour les chaussons. Prisescalade.fr qui vend prise promo cash aussi qui a donné un coup de main pour les fournitures de la buvette ainsi que sur le catering bénévole. Bien sûr, l'entreprise locale Pasquier qui fournit les pitchs. Évidemment, les partenaires institutionnels, la Drôme, la ville de Valence, la région Rhône-Alpes ainsi que Valence Aglo. Et puis, on rappelle encore un instant que vous pouvez aller visiter tout au long de cette Coupe du Monde.
Min fighting here now as he moves into the black holes at the top of the wall. This is where the sustained endurance comes into play and the ability to slow yourself down a little bit, not to get too... And unfortunately Min coming down at that stage there. Bit of a tough one for him. Good result though, enough to see him through to the semis at the stage in the game. Tor Kirich saying, watching in preparation for going climbing. Awesome climbing. Thank you for being with us. Next up on the men's route, we're going to have Elan Jonas McRae for Canada. Elan was over at the Youth World Championships earlier in the year, here to compete on the seniors. Didn't do too badly at all on his first climb earlier. We were watching him on the side, or I was keeping an eye on him while we were commentating on the routes that we are covering. And here he is about to start off now on the men's. Elan Jonas McRae. Manon Healy crossing over here. And unfortunately a fall there for Manon Healy. Mio Nonaka for Japan, starting off on the female wall here. We are still, I promise you, trying to lock down some of these athletes to have a bit of a chat to them and an interview with a couple of them as well. We'll be doing that very shortly.
Allez, super Gauthier sur le mur. Mademoiselle Perlovia, aussi une excellence pour Saint-Bois-2, Kaspekovia, Evgenia, l'Ukrainienne, la petite jeune, elle a eu du mal dans la voie 1, de l'autre côté c'est la japonaise, Mademoiselle Nonaka Mio. Allez, terminé pour Mademoiselle Evgenia, Kaspekovia. She's young, she has the time.
Mio Nonaka now pushing up onto the first lip here. Matching on the sloper. Still looking good at the moment, and unfortunately just overreaching there a little bit and falling around the 33rd hold there, 33 plus that score will give her. The men's route is now being cleaned, so we're currently moving on the women's for this moment in time. We're going to welcome in a few seconds Dinara Fakhrudinova onto the women's wall. Nonaka now down on the ground again.
Allez, juste derrière Evgenia, c'est mademoiselle de la Coupe du Mélan, mademoiselle Aya Oloe qui nous rejoint, la japonaise, il n'en reste pas beaucoup derrière.
Here is Dinara, then our European champion.
On appelle Mike du côté de la caméra. Mike, tu es demandé à la caméra s'il te plaît. Allez, de l'autre côté, celle qui a sorti la voie 1 aussi, qui était redoutable. Dinara Fakhrudinova, la Russe excellence. 6e du classement mondial, Dinara, grande championne. Et nettoyage de la voie du côté garçon, de l'extérieur droit.
Dinara then starting her climb here.
Allez, allez, Junior Ladavalle. Gamba. Gamba, là, Gamba. Allez, God. Allez, prenez le coup, God. Allez, Gauthier, Armoya. Il n'y a aucun souci, hein, lui aussi fait une très belle saison, 8e du classement mondial. Derrière Chef McCall. Et derrière Manu Romain, il est en pleine forme. Les Français qui se comportent très très bien. Nos 4 Français qui sont dans les 12 meilleurs mondiaux. Je crois que c'est une des plus belles saisons pour l'équipe de France. Attention, a toujours été bien placé. Chez les garçons, franchement, cette année, c'est encore une fois le top. Allez, Goth. Il a des grands bras. Il a la patate, il n'a aucun tremblement. Il est complètement dans le point de la voie. Pas de risque. Allez, Goth, allez. L'encourage là, messieurs là, le dernier move.
Fakhrudinova on the jelly bean, now moving into the first roof. Men's route is still being cleaned. So at present we stay with our female athletes. We would expect to see Dinara putting it atop here, or at least a very high score so that we can see her through into the semi-finals. We would pretty much expect Dinara to be in finals as well with us.
Le prochain, on va retrouver derrière Goth, Mr. Christoph Henke from Germany.
Dinara taking a rest here at this point. Interesting positioning we found here with her, with that toe hook on the same handhold she's on there before about going up onto the next sloper. Not seen a female athlete rest here before. We'll see how she gets on over the next few moves. Still taking a rest here, up onto the next sloper now, and she's going to start moving into this tough little crimpy section here. Start to traverse over to the left-hand side before getting up to that next set of slopers, the blue slopers, on the second lip ahead of her here. Now moving into the traverse, looking good here at this point.
Second place to the general ranking, Bela Malkovic.
Still very much in control of the climb here, no real shake setting in at all. Finding those rests whenever she can. And this is where it's going to get interesting for her now. She moves up onto this double just ahead of her. You can see them just creeping in there. There's the one with the left, and now up with the right, and then she'll start moving over onto the left-hand side to this blue sloper. And let's see what she does with her foot, because she's going to get her foot roughly where her hand is now in a few moments' time. Resting again here. These final few moves are the tricky ones. Really shaking out here now. Here we are then, over onto the sloper. Foot coming up, it's the heel we're seeing here. She's got to keep that heel on. She goes up for the next one. She slipped, but she just managed to get a hand on it. Now that's what cost Akio Noguchi earlier on today. She slipped before she managed to get a hand on that second blue sloper. Not so for Fakhrudinova, European champion. A top there for her on her second climb here today. Fantastic performance. Dinara Fakhrudinova of Russia.
Allez, Christophe Henke, Mina Markovic. Christophe Henke a besoin d'aide, Mina Markovic, je pense pas. Je pense qu'elle fait partie des filles à sortir cette voie.
While we are waiting And moving on with our next male athletes, I am now joined by Sebastian Helenki, who I haven't seen in a while since we've been commentating together, really. How have you been?
Thank you first, and welcome back to myself. well, yeah, I've been so good because in Perth I actually found out that I got ill right before, but I didn't really know it. It was like some kind of silent infection. So afterwards I knew it. That's why I also couldn't compete then in Perm the week after. So yeah, that wasn't so cool. I had to rest for about 1-2 weeks and then I could train again. And well, I've tried to train quite a lot until now, but I'm feeling middleweight fit. It's okay, but it's not so good. I just feel like physically of my maximal power quite strong, but not yet in shape of endurance.
Was it always planned that you were going to be missing out on the Asia tour, that we were going out there? Did you plan to go there, but the illness stopped you from going after Perth?
Well, this year the German team was actually not allowed to go there because of budget problems. So yeah, for me it was already at the beginning impossible to go there. I would like to go there, but I think for this year it's still okay that I haven't been there, so I had a bit more time to train. It's fine, but I'm hoping that in the next years I will be able to go there.
With school and with training and everything else, it's probably nice to have a bit of a break after being ill as well, right?
Yeah, that's quite true, but right after being ill I had lots of schoolwork and then I was training so much, and I think right now I'm also feeling those two impacts of school and training.
Talk to me, because you're the first person we spoke to today. Talk to me about the wall that we've got here, the routes that you've been on already. You've got one more still to come, haven't you, today?
Yeah, that's true.
How was the first climb for you? How did that work out?
Well, it was not so good. I felt at the beginning of the route really good and really strong, and actually until like about 5-6 moves before top it felt pretty good, but then I just got a sudden pump and I just fell, and it was really unexpected for me to be there pumped so fast.
What are the conditions on the wall? I mean, you were relatively high up at that point. Is it heating up there? Is it what's the conditions like in the venue?
Yeah, it's a little bit hot up there and the holes are kind of slippery, and that made it also a little bit hard for me because I reached some kind of crimp and I felt like slipping and I tried to get it, but I just didn't get it right and I got really pumped with that. But the wall is really nice, I like it a lot.
The routes, are you enjoying the routes and the setting that we're seeing here?
Yeah, for sure, the route setting is really nice in this competition. Also, I had my very first World Youth Championship win here 4 years ago, so it's actually a quite nice feeling to be back here.
So Valence is good terms for you. It's a comfortable place to compete, right?
Yeah, that's quite true. And I hope in the next qualification it will pay off.
Well, Seb, we're going to be seeing you a little bit later on. You've got your second climb coming up. Thank you for talking to us and telling us a little bit about the wall in general. You come and have a chat to us in the semis, yeah?
Yeah, I hope so, yeah.
Sebastian, thank you for talking to us. Pleasure.
Thank you a lot as well.
Brief chat with Sebastian Helenki there. I'm going to let you get back onto the wall. I know you've got another climb now. Might need to borrow your glasses, actually. I want to get a bit closer in. We'll try and find some more interviews for you in a moment's time. I'm going to be joined by Sachiyama in roughly 5 minutes, and we'll have a chat to him as well. Also going to try and get Jakob Schubert and Sean McCall for you and talk about the rankings at the end of the year. For now, though, we'll go back over onto the wall. Seb turns away from the camera and just want to look at it. So Tina Sosterzik here then. Carrying on as she starts to move into the second roof. We have our athlete now out on the men's wall as well. Up at the roof already at this stage. And we're going to see how both these athletes get on here. As I mentioned, we are going to try and find more interviews for you. Piotr saying, let me get this clear, Dinara is climbing the same route second time. Is that how qualifications are working? They do not switch for the second climb. No, that's not true at all. They both, every athlete here switches and climbs the other route as well. So there are two routes here. The two middle routes that we're not covering at the moment are another male and another female route. Dinara will have climbed one of those already, and she's come onto our routes that we're covering here for you today, so that we see every athlete at least once and don't miss them if we're cutting between the two different routes that's going on. But every athlete will climb two different routes here and take their combined score down to a decimal. We have a way of working out how the two scores combine. And that gives them their overall ranking on going forward into the semi-finals and finals. But they don't get a second try on the same route. This is on sighting, the one attempt, and then on to the next route, the one attempt on that one as well, to see how well they can perform. We're now over to Hélène Janicot, a definite contender for the third place position this year. We'll see how she gets on, starting her climb here, and in a moment's time we'll welcome another French athlete out on the men's route as well. How's everyone doing? Everyone having a good time? Let us know, get in touch with us. You can do so by using the hashtag on Twitter in the bottom right hand corner of the screen for you now. You can get in touch with us there. Any questions you might have, send them in to us.
Allez, c'est parti pour Hélène Janicot, côté gauche. Ça va partir pour Romain Desgrands, que je vous demande d'applaudir, et ça part pour Thomas Ballet. 3 Français sur le mur. Du côté de la buvette, on aurait bien pris des petits cafés, s'il vous plaît, c'était possible, l'organisation. Parce que là, on sent que les juges ont un petit peu de pas bien.
Thomas Ballet, frequent finalist this year when he competes. We see him challenging. He was over in Imst with Gauthier Super. I tend to see those two as a pair, because generally when they're climbing they both make it through into finals. Must be each other's good luck charm, I don't know. And Hélène Janicot as well then. Incredible start to the season for her at the European Championships, and then also on to Briançon as well. Briançon is her lucky charm. She took the gold medal last year, 2012. Still quite a few more to come. We're going to have a chat to some of the female athletes in a moment. We're going to bring Mina up here and have a chat to her. Hélène now hitting the first roof here. Exceptionally strong athlete for only 19 years old. Challenging Momoka Oda, another 19-year-old athlete. And also Magdalena Roek, who's even younger. And those three athletes are currently our third place position hopefuls on the overall year. All three of them just moving out of or still in the World Youth Championship category. Interesting to see another similar, different position of resting there from Hélène Janicot, like we saw with Dinara Fakhretdinova a little bit earlier on today. Hélène now pushing for the top. Thomas Ballet pushing into the tough section as well here.
Allez Romain, allez Thomas, on y va les amis. Hélène Janicot, elle est bien, elle a fait une belle première voie, elle n'a pas sorti la voie, mais elle était vraiment pas mal du tout. 5e du classement mondial, Hélène Janicot.
Well, while we are getting ready with the rest of our female athletes out on the wall, we welcome the contender, the forerunner of the overall World Cup rankings so far. Mina, you've had 2 climbs already today. How was it?
Yeah, the routes are really nice, but I'm happy that I did both tops. Maybe the climbing wasn't really the most fluid, but some stress is always there, and I think for a situation it's just okay.
So for you, you were saying that your own personal climb wasn't as fluid as you used to. Do you have a couple of stumbles there?
I feel a little tension in the route, so yeah, I think I could do better, but as long as I did top, it doesn't matter.
You're the only person I know that would get 2 tops and say, yeah, I could have done it better. There's not really, you can't do any better than that. There's 2 tops. Are you saying you felt a little bit uncomfortable with some of them or something?
No, it's maybe just every competition the things are going to end. So I think every route is needed to be climbed perfect. Maybe it can also cost you later in the final if you don't do it perfect also in the qualifications.
How are you finding the combination that Jan is trying to use at this qualification stage of using kind of bouldery-based moves and throwing them in there as well with the lead aspect? Are you enjoying the style of the qualification routes? Were they to your liking?
I think there are good qualification routes and leads everyone to climb and to fight. And maybe just before the top, if you have enough strength, there you have a couple of harder moves. So. If you have enough strength, you do it, otherwise you go down.
Now talk to me about the World Cup rankings and the overall. We're 2 World Cups away. There's this one, then there's Kran, and then that's it for the year. You're currently literally neck and neck, because if you even take your lowest results from both yours and Kim Dae-in's away from your current score, you are on exactly the same score at the moment. It is basically whoever beats whoever from now on takes the overall World Cup ranking. Is that a big stress for you? Do you think about that a lot? Is it something on your mind?
Yeah, anyway, it is somewhere in my mind. Sure, if I will deny it, I would quite lie. But I think they're just important now that I really get focused on every route, and in every route do the best I can, or let's say do the top, and then it's okay.
And do you think that over the course of the year for yourself, is there anything that you think back on and think I could have improved on that, or I could have changed that there and that would have given me a head start at this point in the game? Or have you had an enjoyable season this year? Has it been a good season for you?
I think it was a really good season, especially by lead. I've been enjoying comps till now so far really well. And also preparation and performance, it really wasn't bad. Maybe I just little look back on Briançon, where I knew that I was really in good shape, but I don't know. I just didn't do what I used to do in the finals, because semifinals I climbed pretty well. And then in Perm, I also wasn't used on this time situation, and I just wanted to climb the finals fast, but at the end it cost me that I fought in the middle of the route. So, but later I learned quite a lot from this situation. So Mokpo and China, it was better.
It definitely was. You were very much on form there. You nearly had a medal anyway at Perm, if you remember. They were just going to call you up because they got the names wrong. Do you remember that one?
Yeah, I remember this one. It was really funny.
Free medal. And Cali as well this year was a real good one for you, wasn't it? What was your experience like of the World Games? Did you enjoy the World Games?
Yeah, I was really looking forward for those World Games, because they are on a schedule every 4 years. So you have situation really every 4 years, and if you know that you're there and that you're on a really top form, you just wish that you would climb to the top and just take a gold for home. And I'm really glad that I did it.
So that's a title then for you for the next 3 at least before someone challenges you again. Do you think in 4 years' time you'll go back to the World Games and try and hold on to your title?
I will see if I will compete. Sure, I will go on the World Games and try to do this again, but honestly, I'm not looking so much further. Sure, I will climb, and if my way will lead me, I will compete too. But I can promise you now, so just keep it surprising.
And then your relationship with Kim Dae-in, just finally to finish up before I let you go and relax for a little bit. It's been really nice this year to see, not that you weren't beforehand, but more and more often, the two of you, when you come out into a final, you instantly pair up and you observe the route together. Now, how is the language barrier between the two of you? Do you rely a lot on just miming it out, or do you actually get on very well on the same level with speaking to each other as well?
I think we understand pretty well each other when it comes to route stalking. Maybe sometimes even with Europeans you have more troubles to explain how you think you will go the route. So maybe it's just in honesty between us two, or maybe it's in language, I don't know.
There's a definite friendship that's sort of been born there, I think. Definitely I've seen over the course of this year, you just seem to automatically go towards each other, analyse the route together. Is that one of the things that you like about sport climbing, that everybody does just speak to everyone else and they observe the route together? It's a very sportswomanly sport.
Yeah, definitely. I really like this spirit in climbing, and maybe I also really like the situation between us two, because now it's going on for, I don't know, 3-4 years all the time, and I think every year this relation, or how you call it, it's changing a bit, but I think every year we are closer. We both know that we are on a really, really top level, and it's just on us what we will do. So it doesn't cost us if we observe the route together, because we both know that we are really good prepared, and it's just when it comes our time to climb what we will show out. So it's nothing to hide.
Well, if Kaimbak's anything to go on in this competition, then you're already on a fantastic standing. So is Kim Jae-in after her climbs as well. I wish both of you all the best of luck going through the competition. You come and speak to us in semis and finals as well?
Yeah, sure.
Thanks, Mina. I'm going to let you go. Cheers. Mina Markovic for a brief conversation there about her experience for today. The qualifications, we'll be speaking to her a little bit more as we go through the rest of the event here, especially towards the semi-finals and finals as well. And I can see someone's just pointing that way because Sachiyama has just come up the stairs, so we'll be speaking to him in a few moments' time as well.
Allez, les deux commencent, il y a Katarina Stauer. Come on, Katarina. The girl from Slovenia to the left. The guy from Japan, Mr. Shimatani. Naoki Shimatani, the Gamba Naoki. And fitting route to the middle for the route to the main route two. Just before the Shenmark Korkan. Ok, terminé pour mademoiselle Sorwen. Il restera deux demoiselles derrière Katarina Sorwen.
Naoki Shimatani here. The reason we're taking a brief break before chatting to Sachiyama is because his teammate is on the wall at the moment and he's wanting to watch Naoki's climb here. So letting Sachi watch the rest of this one before we have a chat to him as well. Nice to talk to Mina a few moments ago. Also Sebastian, who's been away for a little while, is now back here and competing in Valence. I'm going to try and get Ramon de Grange as well in a brief moment's time to talk to him on his home turf, speak to a member of the French team as well. Katja Kadik, first roof here as well now. A few more interviews still to come for you guys. Adam Ondra has just been climbing as well. Top for him, we would expect that. We're going to have to talk to him at some point during this competition, that's for sure. First time in a while we've seen Adam at the IFSC events. Well, I am now joined by Sachi Ama, who has finished watching Naoki finish his climb. Sachi, how are you?
Good. Yes. Yeah, today's climbing was, hard, but yeah.
How were the first the two climbs you've just been through? Was it you said it was hard first of all, but is that because of the conditions in here, the routes themselves? What was hard about them?
Actually, the route is so maybe 80 plus, so it's normal. And left one is really endurance, right one is technical. And I don't know. I was fourth today, so I was not ready to climb. So I felt really hard.
So it was just that you were coming out a little bit earlier than you wanted to be. You wanted more time to warm up.
I came here 9:30, and I started, but I talked a lot with my friends. So that is why. Because Adam came this time, so I talked a lot with him, and it take a long time.
And before you know it, you're on the wall, and you haven't had time to warm up, right?
No.
Okay, so talk to me about the two different routes. Was there any particular problems on the wall for you? I mean, you're saying it was hard that you didn't have enough time to warm up because you were chatting to people and relaxing into the day, but was there any problem on the wall itself? Did you find the routes, you say it's so, but was there any difficult moves for you?
In the route? Especially right route.
Yeah.
You have many heel hook, and all the hold is, how do you say?
Slopers, curve?
No, on the edge. So you cannot see well, but you have to hook it, and it was hard for me. Always feel from the heel, and maybe good, and then move. So it take long time to start moving. So I get pumped. Yeah.
Talk to me a little bit about the overall World Cup rankings for this year. We said at the very start, I remember talking to you and you saying it's all about Ramone and me, we're going to fight for this one all the way through. You've done it already. I mean, there is still the competition there between the three of you, but 460 points at the moment for you, 2 more competitions yet to come. Do you feel like you've achieved what you wanted to do at the start of the year? Do you feel happy about how the year has gone?
Actually, I don't know well about the points, so I don't know how much difference between me and Jakob or Ramon. So I still a little bit nervous getting the first ranking, but I'm still feel pressure a little bit. Yeah.
Now, one of the things I spoke to Mina about a little bit earlier was that it's really nice to see even the top-level athletes and different nationalities coming out in the finals, and all of you just coming together as you talk through the route. Is there any particular favourite for you that when you're in a final you like to spend time talking through the route? Do you like spending time next to Jakob or next to Ramone? Is there anyone that you look to pair up with, or do you just talk to everybody when you're in a final?
I don't understand. I'm sorry.
When you talk through the route, when you first come out for your observation time in a final, everyone comes together.
Yeah.
Is there anyone in particular that you like talking to more than anyone else at that stage?
Sorry. I'm sorry.
Okay. When you come out for the final,
and
you're with, say, Jakob and Ramone and whatever, and whoever else is there with you, Sean, for example, as well, is there anyone you talk to more than other people? Do you speak to Sean most of the time, to Jakob, or do you all just...
In the observation?
Yeah.
Usually, I did it with Adam, but a long time he was not in World Cup, so sometimes Jakob, but they are always together, so I join with them and do it. But for me, the best is spend a long time alone, because I think mostly climber, they just check the movement, but I want to feel it. So when I in the wall, I imagine how far is it or how, I don't know, slippery is it. I always try to feel it when I do observation. So I need more time than other climbers.
On your own?
I guess, yeah.
That's a really interesting answer. Talk to me a bit about Adam Ondra and your relationship there. Do you think you have a similar style to Ondra? Do you think you're a similar climber and that's why you got on? Or is it just that you're very friendly and you just like each other?
I don't know. But usually we don't, how do you say, decide before we do observation. Everyone go there and then do observation and find someone and then we do it. So
It's just that you two are friendly. You
yeah,
get on.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, what about for the space in between Valence and Cran? Are you going home? Are you staying out in Europe? What's going on there?
I will stay in Innsbruck. Yeah, rent apartment. And,
To Tivoli and train?
Yeah, I guess Mini is there. And I don't know others, but some Japanese also stay there. So yeah, it will be big. Community. Yes.
Well, Sachi, congratulations on your first 2 climbs. Thank you for talking to us. It's nice to have a longer chat with you. I'm going to let you get back and relax a little bit. Will you talk to us in the semis, finals?
What?
Come back for another interview in the semis and finals?
Today?
No, tomorrow. Unless you're planning on climbing the semis now. You want to go for the semis now?
No. Yes, tomorrow I will come back. Yes.
Come and have a chat,
Yes.
yeah?
Yes.
Sachi, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Cheers. Sachi Amma for a brief conversation there. Nice to have a bit of an in-depth chat with him as well. I'm going to pass you back over onto the wall now. We'll get on with the climbing. Thank you, Sachi.
Le grimpeur israélien qui rejoindra Manu Romain à venir de Manscofield, qui a braqué le Berger. France, Charlina, Topor, Cobb, Timmermans, Lopez, Winter, Guérimand et Guittard. Allez Manuela, allez Clément, les Français, vous lâchez pas Clément vers les maison. Allez, accroche-toi Clément. Ah, ça s'applaudit s'il vous plaît, parce que là il y a eu un coup de stress. Et évidemment, quand on ne fait pas le temps, après il faut revenir dans le micro de la voix. Et voilà, Anna Veroven qui vient d'enlever le sticker prémutuel. Elle a bien raison. Donc elle a gagné un compte gratuit. Allez Anna, allez Manuela. Go Manuela. Là, ça commence à être très très physique pour Manuela Silvis, la Suissesse. Et oui, ça se sent. On peut l'applaudir très fort, terminé pour Manuela. Bernard Roth qui lutte aussi avec sa voix. Derrière Bernard Roth, il y aura Jacob Schubert, le numéro 2 mondial. Allez Anna. Allez, il faut qu'elle aille chercher sa place, Anna Veroven. Anna Veroven, actuellement, elle se débrouille pas mal, hein. Elle est encore très très jeune et elle est 13e du classement général de la Coupe du Monde. Anna. Juste derrière Yuka Kobayashi, la japonaise. Allez Clément, allez. Et attention messieurs dames, je donne un applaudissement pour le numéro 2 mondial, Jacob Schubert.
So, Jakob Schubert now out on the wall. Another one as we finished with our brief chat with Sachi there. His English is exceptional. I think sometimes I just get a little bit carried away. I've got to be a little bit slower sometimes. But it's nice and interesting to hear him talking about the observation time and liking to do it on his own. It's something we're going to be looking out for when we go into the semis and the finals. He's just been saying to me before he left again there that he usually spends maybe 4 minutes doing it on his own, and the only time he'll really approach and start to get really into a conversation is if he's a little bit confused about a certain sequence. It's an interesting answer to hear from him. Usually I know a lot of the climbers like to get together and have the big chat. Jakob, one of the most sociable amongst them. And Kerberkung saying Sachi is such a nice guy. Yeah, absolutely. He's always got a smile for everybody. It was nice to have a chat to him as well.
Bien Nak. Je sais pas, il doit être 6 ou 7 à avoir sorti ses doigts. 5 filles. Chapeau. Chapeau, belle prestation d'Anna Guerroven. Donc ça annonce normalement une place en demi. On va attendre le calcul de la voie 1. Allez, Jacob Schubert.
Okay, so Jakob here. And this is our last female athlete, Netta Fredman from Israel. She's just starting to move towards the roof now as well. I will have a chat with someone else at some point before we say goodbye today. Possibly Jakob after he finishes up on this climb here. I did want to grab Ramon de Grange as well, and at some point we have to have a bit of a catch-up with Adam Ondra, as it has been such a long time since we've seen him. Bercy being the last major IFSC event we saw him at.
Alors dans la voie des grimpeurs de Or à Wenger, le grimpeur d'Israël, ils sont 11 à avoir sorti cette voie. Allez Jacob. Allez Jacob, allez hors. Allez Netta, if you're from Israel, please to Kendall from Israel, come on. Allez Netta, go Netta. Kadima. Finish for Netta, Friedman, Kadima, Kadima. Allez Jacob. Benoît, détends-toi Benoît. Z. Il restera une demi-finale. Bon. J'ai choisi les tirages du Riage, 193 € de repas. Et une Zumba. C'est surtout la Zumba qui a fait la fête. Allez Jacob, on gets. Et Jacob, il est là, il arrive là-haut. Et il n'est pas facile, hein. C'est pas easy, on sent qu'il y met toute l'art et la manière, il y a beaucoup de puissance, on peut l'applaudir, hein. Jacob Schubert en attendant, il est peut-être moins facile qu'il y a 2 ans, mais ça passe à chaque fois. Et il est quand même numéro 2 mondial en train de piloter sa Chiama. La compétition où il y a vraiment eu du mal cette année, ça a été les championnats d'Europe. Redoutable pour Jacob.
Well, no surprises there then. Jakob Schubert with the top, keeping the pressure on. Sachiyama with the countback, and also with Ramonet keeping the pressure there as well. These 3 athletes fighting it out over the last couple of World Cups to see if they can end the year in the gold medal position.
Ça va me dire quand même que tu vas assurer Manu Romain la légende. Estimé à 17 millions d'euros par la Lloyd. Ce grimpeur dans ce Briançon, lui qui grimpe. Allez, Urban, allez. Kakima, je retourne applaudir s'il vous plaît le grimpeur israélien là, allez. Il progresse bien. On peut l'applaudir. Weber qui en termine. Et attention les Français. Lui aussi, il faut aller lui mettre le baudrier du côté de la demi-finale. C'est Manu Romain, le prochain à s'élancer. Ensuite, on aura Valence, France, Krakenberger, me semble-t-il. Parce qu'à chaque fois, je dis cœur, mais c'est G. France, après, il y aura Charlie Blanc, Thomas Topor, Lucas Scott, Timmermans, Lopez, Winter, et encore deux autres. Heide Urban, Heide. Et voilà pour le team PG, Grant, c'est Lulu qui fait les photos. Et Charles, il a dit, j'ai fait confiance à Lulu ce matin et j'arriverai cet après-midi. C'est Lulu, mon attaché de presse de New York, qui prend toutes les photos.
Well, Urban Primozic then on the wall made the finals just recently in Mokpo. Overtook Domen, where Domen missed out. We had a Slovenian male replaced by Urban. Clearly on a good form here at the moment. Still fighting on this one. I can see people asking about Adam Ondra. Well, that's where I keep disappearing to. We're trying to track Adam down at the moment, so we can have a bit of a chat and a catch up with him, because it's been a while. I will try and catch him. If I don't get him today, we will definitely try and get hold of him tomorrow. And we are into the last section of our male athletes now. Just 5 more athletes to climb after we finish with Urban. Urban now with the top here, nice and secure, as you can see, on very good form at the moment. What's everyone's impression of the qualifications then? Have we enjoyed it? The climbers seem to be offering some interesting views on it. Sachi saying he thought it was hard, but that was mainly because he was catching up with Adam Ondra during his warm-up time. Mina saying it was a nice climb as well. Interesting views from Mina as well, saying that although the 2 tops, she feels like she could have climbed it better. And there might be a better way to approach it.
Il restera seulement 4 grimpeurs à venir dans la voie 1 du groupe 1. Allez, c'est parti pour Vettorata. Lui aussi, Francesco Vettorata, il va nous faire les mêmes choses. Il a été bon sur la première voie.
Francesco Vettorata for Italy, now starting his climb. Starting to come to the end of today. Trisboer asking whether we're going to see the other 2 routes. Not today. Unfortunately, no. We cover these 2 so that you get to see everybody climb at least once. We might be able to give you a brief glimpse of a couple of them in a moment, but we're focusing on Route 1 for the men's and Route 1 for the women's today. Semis will see the middle wall being used a little bit more, and the finals will be seeing that being used as well in the men's. Plenty more climbing still yet to come, guys. Over the next day, tomorrow.
Là, il est bien en première partie impeccable, il a juste à bien gérer au niveau de l'effort, de la résine, de la respiration, du zen, pas se mettre en rouge, pas s'envoyer de fausse peur. partie du mur qui est rigoureuse, délicate. On vous rappelle pour l'info que dès que les grises changent de couleur, c'est qu'on commence à rentrer dans une autre notation. Et là, franchement, il est bien. Je ne vois pas ce qu'il pourrait l'arrêter. Il est toujours vigilant à tout. Allez, ça tient. Voilà, bien précis au niveau du travail de ses pieds, Manu Romain. Il est détendu, il n'a pas la pression, on va l'aider. Allez Manu, allez. Allez Francesco Dai. Et bien franchement, on a du grand Manu Romain. C'est prometteur.
Francesco up onto the pinch there, and you can just see Manu coming down there. That was what the round of applause was for a few moments ago, atop there on his second climb. Sees him securely through now. Veterata still fighting here, turning out, reaching over with that foot, currently now up around the 33rd hold.
Oh, je l'ai vu, un cavalier. On demande un kiné pour le remettre la mâchoire en place. Allez, Francesco, dive for Italy, please, everybody. Francesco Veterata, 5 move. And Domen Skofic.
Right up to the top section of the wall now, Veterata. And unfortunately there at the lip, couldn't quite hold on to it around the 38th hold for him. Well, there you can see the middle then. So I know we're not showing you the middle routes, but these are the middle routes for you. Brief glimpse. Domen Skofic here on the right-hand side of the centre. And the women's route on the left-hand side there as well. So that's what it's looking like here. So there you are, Tris Boyer. Sorry we're not covering them throughout the entire qualifications, but at least we can have a brief look here at what we're seeing in the centre wall. Skofitz about to push up into that roof section, and here are the results as they stand at the moment. We have 7 tied first place positions on the Route 1. This is for the women. Salome Roman, Kim Jae-in, Magdalena Roak, Mina Markovic, Momoka Oda, Denara Fakritinova and Ellen Janiko are tied first place positions there. And here you can see all the way down to 18th as well. This is just from the one wall though. These results will be combined with their second climb, and you'll be able to see that on the IFSC's website. When they are combined, we will see who our top 26 are going through into the semi-finals tomorrow. Athlete here for the Czech Republic now, Martin Klemsa, starting his second climb, coming to the last 3 or 4 athletes now on the men's. Before we have all of our results in, we can see who is making it into that top 26 athletes, and then we'll be saying goodbye to you for this evening, for today, and we'll be back with you tomorrow morning for the semi-finals. Domen still maneuvering here. This slowly increasing incline and 2 roofs there you can see before moving into the prow up towards the top now, and those 2 hemispheres. These are the results for Route 2, the one that we haven't been watching today, but this is the results as they stand at the moment. You can see 5 tied 5th place positions there. Dinara Fakhdinova, Kim Jae-in, Mina Markovic, Momoka Oda and Anak Verhoeven. Kiana Gucci up in 6th there. Jessica Pills, Magdalena Roik tied in 7th. Not quite as successful here on the 2nd. Those results will be combined and that'll give us the overall top 26 making it through into tomorrow. We'll have a look at the men's a little bit later. For now though, the gentleman we were chatting to earlier today, Sebastian Halenki, now starts on men's Route 1. We'll take you over to him. And his final climb here. Halenki not very well, why he missed out on Perm. Didn't come to the Asia Tour either. Back here now, trying to see himself through to the semi-finals. That round of applause was the top for Domen Škofits. Successful climb there for him. Sebastian taking a moment to rest up a little bit. Before pushing up into the trickier section here. Very young athlete, Sebastian Halenki, still at school doing his A-levels at the moment, International Baccalaureate. Combining that with training and with making it out to these events, planning on going into university over the next few years as well. Well, as we are coming towards the end of the day here, I've been trying to talk to you for a while, but I keep losing you amidst the crowd. So I am now joined by our current European champion. It is Ramon de Grange. How are you, Ramon?
Not so bad, thank you.
How was the climb here for you today, the wall? Did you enjoy it?
Yes, it's cool today to have a hard qualification. We have many people, many competitivity. So it's cool to have a hard World Cup.
Now, we had a brief conversation after the European Championships, but obviously you were crazy at that stage because it was a big, big thing for you. But talk to me about winning the European Championship on your home turf. What did that mean to you?
But it's a dream. So since 10 or 15 years, I'm trained to do this victory. So I'm really happy. It's better than I imagined. So it's okay, perfect.
And that was back at Chamonix, where we had Adam Pustelnik setting the routes there, but on the team there was Jan Zabranik, who is our chief route setter here. So you're seeing kind of a similar style of setting, I suppose, at this one, again on French soil. Are you excited about the rest of this competition?
Yes, it's not really the same style because the world is very overrunning. So it's not really the same style. In Chamonix, the world it's like that. No there. So just climb and crimp. So it's not really the same style, but it's French competition, so it's a show, and perhaps it could be better.
We've still got the semis and the finals yet to come here. I'm sure that Jan is going to have a lot in store of exciting things moving into the finals as well. A game back in France here for you. How is it competing on your home turf? Do you find it quite stressful because you know you have to do well because the crowd are cheering you, or do you find that it helps you, that it's an encouraging thing for you?
Here in Valence, it's not a problem for me. It's like in China, I know perhaps 2 or 3 people, but it's okay. In Chamonix, I know everybody, so it's not the same game.
Do you like the support from the crowd? Does it really help you when you're on the wall?
Yes, it's cool, of course.
And what about your training then? I mean, obviously you put in a lot of hard work up to the lead up to the European Championships. It was a big thing for you. You wanted to win it. Have you managed to have some time to yourself after that to relax a little bit, or have you been constantly training after that as well?
No, training because I win one competition, but I won't win another one and another one and another one. And Sachi, Jacob and Ramon are really strong, and I need to train more to try to win one more time.
Well, you're currently sitting in 4th place. You've got 5th place there. You've got Manu. That's the two of you are neck and neck at the moment. But when you drop your lowest score, you are actually the higher ranking athlete. Is there a chance for you to try and push up into the 3rd place if you do really well over the next couple of events?
I think it's not possible with if Ramon make another mistake of Sachi. I think it's not possible. But if I can stay 4, it's good.
Do you enjoy the competition? For you, is the challenge of having these guys that are putting out such strong results every time, is that something that encourages you to do well?
Oh yes, of course. I would like to compete all my life. I like it. It's cool to train and come to a country and try to be the first one. And after come back home, retrain and retry one more time.
How did you get into climbing? How old were you when you first started?
I'm starting 15 years, so a little bit late.
Yeah.
But it's okay.
It's not a problem. You're European champion. You're allowed to say things like that. And what was it that drew you to it as a sport? What was the thing that made you excited to want to carry on?
I like it. When I began climbing, it was fun, and I was belayer in the World Cup in Chamonix when I was young, belayer and bénévole, and I belay Yuji Hirayama, François Legrand, and I told her I would like to do that. I would like to be like her.
So I suppose
it's a dream.
the Chamonix win for you then is it was the most important thing that could have happened to you, because that's where you began, that's where you started, yeah?
Exactly.
What about plans for the future for you then? You've got Cran still after this one, the rest of this competition here. What about Christmas and that sort of period of time? Are you getting some time to actually take time off, spend some time with family and friends, or does it just keep going?
I make a little break for holidays for Christmas, and after we start climbing to be stronger next year.
When do you start again after Christmas? Is it straight away in January, right back on it again?
Sorry?
When do you start training again? Is it January straight away?
January, middle of January, and after all the day.
Now, the French have an exceptionally strong team. You've got a very young, strong team as well. Obviously, in the women's category, you have Hélène Janicot, who's doing incredibly well. In the men's, you've got Gauthier Super, Thomas Ballet, a lot of very, very strong younger athletes as well, up and coming. What do you think the key is to the French success? Why do you think we have such a strong team?
We have a good structure for training, and we have a meeting all together each shift 10 days. So we climb many times together. We have good training, good trainer, and this emulation was good to higher our level.
So it's the fact that you will make sure that at least once a year you all come together and climb at the same time together, share your experiences.
Some years ago we climb only at home, and we meet only for the competition. So sometimes we have some difference, and climbing together many times, it's good to perfection.
Plans for the future, just to finish up on, next year back again, you're going to go for the World Championships, yeah?
Of course.
Ramon, thank you so much for talking to us. Merci.
Sorry.
Ramon de Grange, your European champion. Pleasure to talk to you. Thank you, Ramon. He's going to go off now. We caught him as he was going out the door as well with a backpack on, so nice of him to chat to us. We are coming to the very end of our coverage here for you today. I'm going to go back over and go back onto the wall for you now as well.
Allez, encouragement aussi pour Charlie, s'il vous plaît. Passage un petit peu délicat, allez, Ben.
Well, we are here with our final climber for today, our last athlete, Benoit Heitz. When he is finished, that is it for our qualifications. We will take a short look at the results and we'll be saying goodbye to you. The comedy of it is we've been asking Domen Skofic to come up and chat to us for ages, and he's been concentrating obviously on that second and final climb. He's now sitting next to Adam Ondra. We have just found Adam Ondra after so long of looking for him. I promise you we will get that interview with him over the next day. We will have that chat. For now though, with our final climber coming down onto the ground, it is time to have a look at our overall results as we have them at the moment. Still our final French athlete climbing on the second route here, but we're going to bring up the results for the ones that we've been looking at so far today. Hopefully you've enjoyed the coverage and you'll come back and join us again tomorrow as we move into the semi-finals. These are the results for the women's lead, and this is your tied 7 first place positions on Route 1. This is the route that we've been covering for you today. These are the athletes and their scores at the moment.
Allez, Tito, allez! Allez, les Français encouragez-le, là, Charlie, c'est pas mal.
Katarina Sarvain in a risky position here at this stage, down in 17th place. That'll be combined with her score from the other route that she's climbed today, and we will know where our top 26 are standing. On this singular route then, Mio Nonaka is the 26th athlete in terms of height with the 33 plus here, but then these will of course be combined with the results from the second climb as well. And this is their second climb. This is how it stands at the moment. 5 first place positions, 2 tied 7ths there as well. Akio Noguchi in 6th. And in a few seconds we'll take you over onto the men's as well, and we'll have a look at the results for those ones. So you can see Hélène Janicot down in 10th here, tied with Maya Vidmar. Katharina Posch in 12th. Salome Roman after a top on the first route here in the second one in tied 12th place with 4 athletes, Yuka Kobayashi, Katharina Posch and Aya Noe. tied 12th place here. And there's Katarina Sauin, 22nd place, 17th on the first listing there, which should be just enough to see her at the bottom of the semi-finals tomorrow. Let's have a brief look at the men's there. Here they are then, 9 here, straight off the bat. Mario Lechner, Ramon Julien, Kim Jabi, Gauthier Super, Romain Degrange, Sean McCall, Manuel Roman, Domen Skofit, and Satsumi Nita here. The first tied 9 place positions on Route 1, the one that we've been covering for you today. And it goes onto the second page, all the way down to 16th. 16 tied first place positions here at this singular route. Once it's combined, we'll probably lose a few of those due to their second climb as well. But here we are, Stefano Gazolfi, Thomas Johannes, Sachiyama, Thomas Balla, Adam Ondra in there, Jakob Schubert and Urban Primozic. Loic Timmermans there in 17th, Flavien Gurimand in 18th there as well. On to our final page then, all the way down to tied 24th positions here. We have 3 of them, Thomas Tauporn, Bernard Rock and Naoto Hakamada, with Clement Venesson in 27th, just missing out on that 26th place there with the 35 and not quite managing the plus. Here is the second route then, still 9 tied first place positions, very interesting. So Adam Ondra definitely piling on the pressure to these guys after not climbing this sort of style for a while, being out at Flatanger and doing his own projects out on rock. He's coming back onto the plastic and challenging here already, as we would expect from him. And it goes on to 13 then, 13 here in first place positions. Ramon Degrange, Sean McCall, Manu Roman, Domen Skofit. Urban here dropping down into 14th after a 45 plus. He topped on the other one. Bernard Rourke doing a little bit better here. Elan Jonas McRae here as well. One more page for you after this one, just to give you an idea of the results as they stand at the moment. 26 athletes making it through in the men's, 26 in the women's, to go through to tomorrow to the semi-finals. We'll be back with you to bring you those semi-finals tomorrow morning, so don't go anywhere. Make sure you come and join us as well. Hopefully you've enjoyed the coverage here today. Those semi-finals start at midday here tomorrow, 12 o'clock. With our semi-finals. That's local time to us. And that about concludes everything, guys. That is our coverage of the qualifications here now today. We will be coming back with you at 12 o'clock. That's midday tomorrow for the semi-finals. Keep your eyes peeled on the IFSC's website for the results after Thomas finishes this climb here. Finishing up with our second route athletes. We'll be back with you tomorrow, 12 o'clock. Thank you for being with us and good night. You know what? We're going to finish this climb. Oh, just as I started speaking as well. Commentator's curse. Let's hope that doesn't affect him throughout the rest of the competition. Apologies for that one, guys. We were going to stay with Thomas, but unfortunately he has come down. We will see you tomorrow at 12 o'clock.